Okay, we are live, and welcome to the Chronicles of the Folk Band session 14. Here we are.
14.
14, yeah. So
Hello,
the folk
everybody.
band have just successfully stopped a Zentarum and Drow contingent from stealing the Dawn Titan Megara from Gauntlgrym. And were celebrated heartily that night with a banquet and a fantastic drinking contest between the king Brunner and the folk band's very own Vark. It came right down to the wire. The 20th drink, both parties couldn't quite keep it down. But the very next drink, Brunner was able to chug down, and Vark just couldn't hold it. The place went wild. The songs were sung all night. The Rook played a few songs, got the dwarves all singing together, and it was a revelry to be remembered for generations. As the folk band wake up the very next day, they have some decisions to make. The king has bequeathed upon them 20,000 gold worth of whatever's in the treasury and the vaults of magical items that the Gauntlgrym dwarves have amassed over the years. And so the folk band, for maybe the first time in a long time, don't have an immediate world-ending pressing issue to deal with. So we'll see exactly what they decide to do with their freedom today. All right, so
wonder how Vark's doing.
Here we go.
Nyx is looking for explodey stuff. Da 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 da.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna check on Vark, see how he slept it off okay.
Oh shit, we should check it on him. Right, he failed. He failed that drinking. Got it.
He didn't fail. It was practically a tie.
Well, it was practically a tie. I didn't mean like fail like a failure. I meant like he he drunk himself into a stupor.
That's true.
Yes. But then so did the king.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought Vark was all talk, but no, he proves that he can knock him back. Indeed.
He can drink like a dwarf, and that's a compliment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh, what a night.
I don't know. I feel fine. It's like I wasn't even there.
My first little kind of damp with the ale of the night before. Oh.
I forget because Nyx is immune to poison. They're basically immune to alcohol.
Basically.
Should have had them do it.
I could still fail Constitution saves, but I can still fail this.
That's right.
I just don't get like the poison.
You might vomit, but I don't think you'll ever be poisoned from alcohol. You'll never get alcohol poisoning. There you go.
That's what I meant. I'm never gonna have alcohol poisoning, but damn, will I have the effects of it?
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so you are you've got some time here. You do hear. I'm assuming you're still in your rooms as you're kind of waking up and getting back to consciousness, and you did find that there was a wonderful breakfast delivered right to your room. The smells of sausages and potatoes are really just for most of you are smelling wonderful. I'm not sure if maybe one or two of you, if the smell of food might not be so great this morning. But for the most part, you have a wonderful meal. You're surprised to find a spiced cider, a warm spiced cider as a drink. And if anybody wants to try it.
Oh shit, yeah. Give it to me.
You immediately upon tasting it, you can taste the alcohol in it. It's definitely a brew of some type, but you find it's just delicious, and it's kind of soothes your stomach a little bit.
Oh, perfect.
Hair of the dog.
Yes, hair of the dog, indeed. I just, I just kind of hold it up. It's alcohol, but it's good alcohol. It's kind of like a remedy.
I think at this point you might realize that ma'am hasn't been around, and she probably walks back into the room right about now. Oh,
Hey, man.
morning. Hope I didn't wake any of you when I left this morning.
Where'd you go?
What?
No, I just had some things to take care of. Some preparations to make.
Care to
Okay.
share?
Uh,
Come on, ma'am. We're friends here. Send it out.
I've got there's something that the powerful casters in my clan would do, and I think it's about time for me to take that path as well. So, a little later, I'd like to invite y'all to a ritual, a ceremony of
Holy
sorts.
shit. My word. Sure.
So there's the ritual that you gotta do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think with everything going on, it's about time.
I could just watch, right? I'm not like, part of the ritual at all.
Yeah, of course. Although, and ma'am turns towards Nyx. There is traditionally someone that is going through the ritual has somebody else that they trust help with part of it. I was wondering if you might be willing to do that, Nyx.
Aww.
Friend indeed is a friend indeed, Nyx.
yeah, friends, yes. Nyx is like, yes, of course I'll help you. And there's just like a blush on her cheeks, and she just goes and sips the cider a little more.
Yeah, ma'am kind of awkwardly turns to the cider, which I think she probably had some herself already because she was drinking quite heavily as well last night, and is a little quiet for the rest of the morning.
I'm sipping. Good cider. Good.
It is
Yeah.
better. It's like it's kind of like that apple. What did we have? I feel like we've had apple pie or apple something before.
Of course. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they say the apple pie was invented in Phandalin. Not sure if that's true or not.
Oh shit! That's why like Nyx remembers Phandalin and everything that's happened and kind of just goes like quiet and just still drinks the
Oh,
cider.
God.
The oh god when we were like, oh yeah, like Phandalin's the one that did it.
Oh. All right. So I'll go ahead.
Would we have probably not actually since we were drinking all night. I was gonna ask if we would have been able to attune to our new items, but it might not matter today anyways.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that within an hour. So you're,
Okay.
well, I mean, you guys are welcome to hang out in your room for an hour early in the morning and attune to whatever you want to. So,
I
I have
want
no
to
problem with
put
that.
on the coat of this place.
I was gonna say, Mario, does Naruk just have? You started using a shield when you took your cleric level, right?
Was I supposed to?
Oh, I don't know.
No.
Well, there is a +1 shield on there. If Naruk's looking for
a nice extra healthy boost to his AC.
So question. If I want, so in order for me to use spells, I have to use my loot.
Oh,
Yes.
So that would
So
fair enough.
Yeah.
now there's I play a swords bard in my other thing, so it's a little different for us. But there is a thing you can do if you want to have a sword and a shield and also cast spells. It dropping something is a free action. So, and you have a item interaction every turn as well. So there's nothing in the rules that says you can't drop a weapon, cast your spell, and pick it up again.
Within the same round?
Yep. That's your drop. So you drop a weapon, that's a free action.
Okay.
You cast your spell with whatever somatic material components, and then for your item interaction, which you get every turn, you pick your weapon up off the ground. So it does involve dropping something. And if you don't have an item interaction, or like if you draw your sword that round or whatever, well, you wouldn't draw your sword and then cast a spell. We would cast a spell and then draw. So, I mean, it could get you in a sticky situation at some point, but it's an option. Just throwing that out.
Okay.
It would also, I'm realizing, is your flame tongue a great sword? If that's two-handed, that would make that hard to use.
It's not two-handed.
Oh, okay.
No, it's a long sword. It's versatile.
Long sword, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think it's a long sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, long sword, flame tongue. Yeah.
Interesting. You know what? Only 387 gold pieces. I'll just take it and just have it on me, and then I'll just if I want to equip it.
I mean,
right? Just to have it.
It does put your walking around AC to 23.
Yeah.
That's not a terrible thing.
My what?
that puts your AC up to 23.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll take it. Good looking out.
That is kind of crazy. All right, that just means I can throw really nasty stuff at you all.
Bring it on.
Not like I haven't been.
So, okay. So that's always been you drop. For some reason, when I first started playing D&D, someone told me that it wasn't that easy to drop something and then just pick it back up.
I mean,
I guess I'm just remembering wrong. Yeah. All right.
I mean, there's always the possibility that, you're fighting somebody and they hold a reaction to grab your sword the second you drop it or something. It's not a foolproof strategy.
Yeah.
But
it's,
as Nick explained, it is.
But I mean, when
viable.
I'm casting a spell, I'm away, I'm far away from things. So,
it wouldn't work for something like Dimension Door, where you have to drop a weapon, cast your spell where you teleport, and then suddenly you're teleported away from an item.
It doesn't matter.
Couldn't I just
you could sheath it. You could sheath your weapon.
Yeah.
But then when you're done casting your spell, you don't have your weapon out.
Yeah.
It also matters what kind of, if it requires verbal somatic material. Because if it's just a somatic spell, something like probably healing word. I have no idea. I don't have anything in front of me.
That's
but like
just verbal. That's
right.
just a word.
So like
yeah.
that you don't have to do anything for that. You can just say that.
He needs one free hand to be able to cast with, right?
What's that?
He only needs one free hand to be able to cast with, or one hand.
One hand.
Like he can have a shield in one hand and
one
cast
empty
with it.
hand.
Yeah.
Do you always need a free hand?
On him.
Not if it's a verbal spell. If it's just a verbal spell, you don't need a free hand. It's just for somatic or material or both. You can use the same hand to do both somatic and material.
Right.
And like, so he can have a shield on him all the time and just decide whether or not he wants to have his flame tongue out, depending on whether or not he feels like casting spells.
Yeah.
And he doesn't need a free hand to be able to dole out bardic inspiration, because that's not a spell.
Think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
What about counterspell?
Ooh,
that's a good question, because let's see. That is somatic, yeah. So if you have a shield and a sword in your hands, you can't cast counterspell.
Oh, snap.
And you can't drop your weapon with your reaction.
So probably best just to leave sword sheathed unless you use it.
That's a great point out. That might be the reason why you don't want to carry a sword and a shield all the time, because you can't counterspell.
What if we fixated the shield?
I'll just carry a freaking shield.
Well, right, the conversation forward.
I have
an
idea. Elijah? Yeah, like what if we fixated the shield like on his back like a turtle shell, or like on like like when they strap it up on their elbow, the hand is technically we can't do something like that.
No, that's a work around the rules.
Okay.
You can strap it on your back, but then you're not. Then you're not.
It's sheathed.
Right.
Okay.
Then you're not gaining the +3 to your AC because you're not using
it. And I believe that the store did have that animated shield. I don't know.
That is correct. That would solve your problem. But that's also 22,000 gold.
Oh, so never mind.
I was gonna say, I mean, our conversation wasn't so much about a sword. I think it was brought up because Nuruk needs his loot for casting, right?
Yeah.
Like that's his spell casting focus.
Oh, that's right. Yep. But so your spell casting focus takes the place of the material component or the somatic and material together.
Right.
So he doesn't have to have the loot. He can have an open hand. And that's the same as having his loot. So he doesn't have to take his loot out to cast spells.
Wait, I don't?
No, you can use regular somatic and material components. You don't have to use your spellcasting focus.
Yeah, I think what's up to interpretation here is whether or not, if he's using his loot as his spellcasting focus, does that mean he has to be able to play it?
Right. That's what I thought. That's what I thought the whole time.
Because if he doesn't have to play it, if he can just use it as a spellcasting focus, like an amulet or a staff or whatever, then he could just hold it with one hand.
Yeah, I don't.
It's a battle loot.
Use a musical instrument as a spell.
That is a good question, because there are some instruments that can be one-handed, but most of them really are two-handed instruments. I mean, personally, I think a bard casting with his musical is a flavor thing to me. You can also choose to cast spells normally. You don't have to do it.
In the handbook, it says your magic comes from the heart and soul you pour into the performance of your music or oration. So I could sing.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be music played from an instrument. It can be from song or from anything else. I think the book actually describes one bard that is banging a sword against a shield in order to make like a marching beat.
Oh, that's cool. I wish I made my instrument like drums or something.
That's not
play patty cake to get to march people into battle, just like All right, clap our hands like this.
Yeah. So the actual spell casting for bards says that you can use a musical instrument as the material component for bard spells. So you can. You don't have to.
But I won't.
Yeah. And for flavor, like it's awesome. You're playing your thing and you're casting your spells or your healing word is a quick little word tune ditty, whatever. But it's not necessary.
There's no reason Nuruk can't still sing.
Right, yeah.
Like, sprinkle some whatever dog hair dust or whatever the material component is as he sings us a little song.
Exactly.
Okay, just so we're on the same page, I don't have to have the lute equipped to cast spells.
Correct.
Okay.
You can use it. If you're not using your weapon, you would have to have a component pouch. Which
I might have an extra one.
Well, like I was saying earlier, I believe he can use his instrument as a spellcasting focus.
Yeah, that's what we just said.
Yeah.
He can, but he doesn't have to.
Yeah, but I think that Mario's. Never mind. Oh, that's right. No, I'm shutting up. Love you guys.
Yeah, unless you're a paladin or a cleric, I think you have to hold your spellcasting focus to cast spells. You can't just have it on you.
What was that?
Unless you have the
component
booby
touch?
of a war mage.
What was the thing you said? Unless I have like a
Well, what I'm wondering is if if Mario, it sounds to me like what Mario would want to do is have his lute in his hand most of the time, and we can say flavor wise that he can play it with it strapped onto his arm or something like that. But like it's mechanically only occupying one hand, and he can use it as a spellcasting focus. But if he wants the sword out, if he wants to have his sword out, then he doesn't have a free hand anyway to cast with, so he'd have to drop the sword in the first place and pull out the lute.
Yes, and I believe that's what we've been doing this whole time. Is he's had one hand on the lute, one hand on the greatsword if he's using it.
Yeah,
because he hasn't had anything in his other hands. Right. So that's how we've been doing it. I think the question now is,
now that I have a shield,
adding a shield, how does he cast spells? And you can either have your lute in your hand, or you can have a free hand.
Yeah.
To cast somatic or material, or both.
So I'm just gonna walk around with a shield, like no weapon.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's how my bard does it.
Oh, really? That's cool.
It's a cool look.
Yeah. And then for me, what I do is my somatic and material spells I cast before I draw my sword. So like I have a couple spells I'll cast before I actually walk into the fight, pull my sword, and then I can only cast for it. Well, I'm a swords bard, so I can use my weapon as a spell casting focus.
Wait, you cast the spells before combat?
What's that?
Wait,
no, he casts the spell before he gets in there.
He casts the spells before he draws his weapon. So because you need one hand free, you would cast whatever spells you want first.
Okay.
And then you would draw your weapon as a free item at interaction before you do anything with your weapon.
Yep.
Dirt. Okay. Yeah.
Just to make sure we don't wind up in any sticky situations. I have my normal component pouch, and then I just have a pouch. Could I transfer over some components into the other pouch and just give it to Nuruk?
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it is. Yeah, the component pouches are fairly easy to find. You can, you can grab one here. You can do
What is that?
It's basically just a single item that acts as all material components for spells, as long as they don't have a specific monetary value attached to them. Like
Okay. Oh yeah.
Like fireball calls for sulfur,
Bat guano,
or whatever. Bat guano. Thank you. And so there would be bat guano in this component pouch.
Okay.
There's eyelashes in the component pouch. There's eyes of newts
but if it's like a diamond
owl
worth,
feathers,
and like a diamond worth like
but like a diamond, but like the diamond that has a specific gold worth, you would need to have that on your in your inventory to be able to cast Revivify or anything like that. Anything that has a monetary value. So if it says like in the spell, like what is it, like the one that's most like the feast, you have to have like a jewel cup that's worth like whatever.
Oh yeah.
Like there's certain spells that have like this has to be like this item has to be worth X amount of dollars, like or gold coins, and like
identify. The spell identify requires that you have a pearl worth at least 100 gold pieces. It doesn't consume that, but you have to have that pearl worth 100 gold pieces.
I don't think I knew that. I need a pearl worth at least 100 gold pieces.
Oh, do you have identify?
I just have it as a ritual. I never prepare it.
But you know what we could do, since we know what's on the coast?
I think Does somebody have a pearl on a bracelet?
Ooh, hang on. Let me look. I think
Ma'am could just borrow the bracelet whenever she needs to cast identify.
Yeah. Let me look at my inventory. Hang on.
I was gonna say something else. I don't remember what it was.
I have it doesn't say how much it's worth, but there's a pearl, a black pearl. There's a black pearl and a pearl on my bracelet.
Bracelet, tangled bracelet.
So currently on my bracelet, like as I'm like collecting different stones and everything, it's a black pearl, a pearl, an amethyst, a lazuli, a tiger eye, and obsidian, just like in tiny little beads.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say that definitely that pearl is worth 100 gold pieces for sure.
Awesome.
Okay.
I believe you had that made. Am I remembering that right?
I had all of these different stones, and when we went into I forget. I'll have to go back in my
Neverwinter.
It was Neverwinter, and that was when
that original shopping session.
Yes, the original shopping session, and then I went, oh shit, I need a hand crossbow. Whoops. Hey guys, can you buy me this? Because it was this. I need to go look back in my like old notebook, but it was the lady who was a little kooky, and I was like, I like this lady, and then she had like a whole bunch of jewels and jewelry, and that's when we made the bracelet.
Is there any chance I have that lady's name? Probably not.
I remembered what I was thinking earlier when we were talking about spell components and component pouches. I actually read that part of them updating the like Booming Blade and Green Flame Blade in Tasha's to require a 1 silver piece weapon was because technically under rules, because the original writing didn't have a gold value, people were just pulling swords out of their component pouches to cast those spells.
Oh, that's fun. And I thought it was specifically to prevent conjured swords from being used, like Shadow Blade.
See, I thought I saw that they like didn't actually care as much about that.
They didn't, and that was not rule as intended.
Right. Yeah, I thought that was funny. The idea of a little tiny pouch just pulling like a long sword out
in there. That is funny. I can see how somebody would finagle that. All right, let's see. So you've got the pearl that you need. You've picked out almost 13,000 gold worth of stuff here. Is there any other items in here you want? and or do you want? Well, okay. So I already gave you the 1,000 platinum, so that's in the party sheet. So, is there anything else you want at this point out of here? At least for now.
Is that? I feel like 50 gold for that spell book might not be the right price. If so, I will absolutely buy the spell book for 50 gold.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't in the treasury. It was something you had specifically asked for, and for the most part, they don't give away those things. But that was offered up by one of the spellcasters in the place.
I mean, then I'll take a 50 gold spell book.
Good.
Must be nice to be able to learn spells from books.
It's the best part of being a wizard.
Yeah.
They actually added some very cool aspects to that part of the wizard and the one D&D, where there's now like you can create spells by like modifying spells already in your spell book to like deal different damage types, or like you can even potentially I think like a spell with a 10-minute or more casting time can be made into a ritual, which seems potentially really broken. But some of it seemed really cool. I'll be interested to see what sticks through playtesting.
Interesting. That's kind of cool. All right. Let's see. So, all right. You have 13,043 gold worth of items you have selected so far out of the treasury. Is everyone satisfied? At least for now?
Yes, sir.
I am. I was supposed to give you the 200 whatever for the ring of, not the amulet against detection. Like that was, I was going to pay for that.
That's separate. Okay.
Do we want to just? I mean, this would be an everybody decision, but do we want to just pay for the extra from the extra gold we're getting?
That's what I was thinking.
I don't see an issue with that.
And then we can just split the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, we can do that. All right, so let's see. What is that in platinum? That is, so the 10,000. So that would be 304 platinum. So 766 left plus 3 gold. All right. So these. So what happens if I? What do I do if I? What happens if I hit buy? Does it go? I don't know what happens if I hit buy.
One way to find out.
Does it go into the party sheet?
I don't know.
I took a screenshot of the items we have, so if they disappear, we'll know.
Idea.
That's a good idea.
That's a very good idea.
Oh, and I need to grab my laptop charger. I will be right back.
Screen setup? What the? Okay. I'm just gonna make a little note here. So 766. 319.
They're making. Oh, what is this? I just saw this. What is this?
What?
Oh, I know what it is. Never mind.
Oh, sweet. It made a parcel. Oh, I love it.
I saw the alchemy jug and I thought it was something else, but I remember that we've seen one of these before.
Also, for what it's worth, Tuivor had an animated shield on them. I'm just remembering.
Yep, he did.
Hey, all right.
Oh my gosh, everything's popping up in the.
Bam.
Okay, so that worked out really well. All right,
Yes.
fantastic.
All right, I will drag the shit that's mine into my inventory. Amulet is mine. And then the cloak is mine.
Nick, just so you know, I'm gonna leave the spell that we talked about that I decided not to take at this level up. Since you already coded stuff for it, I'm just not gonna prepare it until I get it at a later date.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
So you don't have to, go in and recode the stuff you already did.
Okay. All right, fantastic. I'll have to code the other one, but I've got a little time to figure that out.
It looks like it actually. I think it had that one all set.
Oh, nice. Okay, sweet.
Yeah,
I like that. All right, so one of these rings of protection I know is going to Fark. I can move that over to him. Who's getting the other one?
I am, and Nick, if it's all right with you, I'm going to go ahead and I want to keep it on me just in case I things change later. But I'm going to go ahead and replace my attunement to the Ruby of the War Mage with the ring, and I'm just gonna keep my the Sun Sword stowed. I'm not getting up in the fray as much as I thought I would back in the day. So I think the ring is more beneficial than being able to have my sword out while I'm casting.
I'm sorry. What are you saying?
I will tell you later.
Okay. All right.
I'm guessing
sorry.
I was just gonna say I'm guessing the headband of intellect is similar to the like cloak of protection, and that I won't necessarily see the increase to my intelligence.
We saw the increase of the gauntlets of overstrength.
That is probably correct.
Oh yeah, I always saw those with salty, but
yeah, it's a different way of doing it.
Okay.
We can put the let's see.
Let's see. Will it add it to my? Let's see. Yeah, so that's not applying to my spell attack.
No, not yet. I do have to code that by the effects.
I'm getting out of work early. Yay!
Yay!
Nice.
So I'm actually out in like 5 minutes. So I will catch you guys in a little bit.
All right, see you.
Awesome.
Oh, I totally forgot to say before we started recording. I started wrestling training again.
Nice. Where are you doing it?
At the Limitless Dojo.
I just literally sent them an email earlier this week, and I have not heard back.
Oh my God, Randy is awful at getting back to people. Like when I see him, when they send out this class schedule on Sundays. When I get it, then I see them again. I'll tell them to reply to you.
Awesome, thank you.
Yes,
That's really awesome, though.
I've been trying for like months to get him to reply, and every time I would see him at a show, I'm like, "Hey, I like, when's the class schedule? Oh, I sent it out on Sundays. Dude, you haven't like you haven't replied that I could come." And then finally, I talked to Lee and Eric. And they were like, "Oh yeah, we do like Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and then it's normally one Monday through Thursday. So just like show up. It's like either 6 or 7." And then so I showed up, and they were like, "Oh hey!" I'm like, okay.
All right.
So
Nice.
I mean, when I see the class schedule, I'll send it to you. It's $65 to cover the whole month, or you pay per class. I don't know what the per class is, but if you're planning on going to more than 3 a month, it's worth it to just spend the $65 because the class because it literally covers that, and I think it covers any seminars they do, possibly, or you might get a discount on seminars. Yeah.
Cool.
But anyway, it's it's so cool. I just like showed up and he was like, "Oh hi." I'm like, "Yeah, oh hey." But he also like runs that entire business thing, so I get it. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm trying to give you money and
yes. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how truly feasible it would be for me since I'm down in Biddeford. But I really would love to get back into it. And that seems to be the best option.
There is, what does GK do? There is New England, but that's I think in Massachusetts. So it, give or take, it's still going to be a 2 to 3 hour drive either way.
I mean, I'd rather go and have someone I know there.
Just have people, you know. Well, a lot of people. There's a lot of other new people, but I don't know if you saw them at Geno's. But there's a new ref who just got cleared to referee. Gabe and his wife Christy are doing it together.
Cool.
So they're there. Jason's there. I believe his name is Jake. He's a new kid. I don't think he's been to any of the I haven't seen him at any shows yet. But he's been training. There's another referee who goes to our trainings to like do, spar matches. I believe his name is either Ray. I think it's Ray. And then there's the trainers. So, Danger Kid, Giazzi, Eric.
Oh, I didn't know Danger Kid was one of the trainers now.
He is.
Oh, cool.
Ace, I don't think is doing it anymore, or if he's taking a break from it. But there's Eric and Alexander Lee, Ben, So that's.
I'm gonna run to the restroom. I'll be right back.
Yep. So it's pretty cool. Ben threw out his back, so I haven't really been able to go to one of his, but he's very much a Larry kid. So he has like the more methodology. Eric has been really good at like getting us into mentality in the ring. And then Danny's like a cheerleader. I still can't get over the forward roll thing. I'm trying to do my forward rolls and I'm still doing like 3/4 rolls. Like I bail out halfway through and go over my shoulder instead of directly over my head. And so like I had to like get over it. And so Danny and I literally spent like 10 minutes together in the ring, and he's like, you're tough, you have to trust yourself, you've already done this, like I already seen you can do these types of rolls, you just gotta go directly over. And like I smashed my head on the floor. And he was just like, and like he was laying there next to me and he like, but do you see how straight you are? You were going straight. You just gotta go up. You just gotta go ass over tea kettle. And I'm like, I know. And like I tried like a couple other times, and like I was getting closer, but the last time they were trying to pull me through, and I just landed really hard, and they were like, "Okay, we're done with that." Oh my gosh. That's like what I have to get over. I have to get like mattress or something and just keep rolling and or go early and practice my rolls because like I could do 3/4 rolls fine. I couldn't even do those at first. I couldn't even get and like so like I can do 3/4 rolls fine. I still have to learn all the other type of rolls. He was like listing all these different rolls, like tiger roll, this type of roll, this type of, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then of course they're like talking about like flip bumps and all that stuff. And I was like, well, if I can't go up and over my head in a roll, I don't think that's gonna be a safe bet to have me do that. And then so we did like headlock takeovers, and I ended up like on a guy's face, which wasn't great. I was like, I'm so sorry. And everybody started laughing. It's like, why are you apologizing? He just oh my god. It's great. It's wrestling's fun.
What's your wrestling name?
Well, Larry wanted me to go by my middle name, May, but I don't know what they're. Danny wants me to. Danny wants me to be Mayday. Haha. Danny wants me to be a bruiser. I know Larry wanted me to be a bruiser at 1.2, so it makes sense.
Is it Mayday? Mayday's a good name, right? Mayday.
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 It would be a nice like nickname, not necessarily a wrestler name.
Oh.
Yeah, like I feel like you have to have a mid. He wanted me to go by Miss May, be like this. You know when Lacey Evans was doing? I don't know if you watch WWE, but like when she did like that Southern like lady gimmick.
Oh my god, so good.
Yes, he wanted me to do that before she ever like arrived. Like we were planning on being like, oh, I'm so sorry, but like absolutely being a bitch to everybody.
Oh my god, that would have been so good.
Lying, cheating, stealing stuff, but being like, I'm so sorry, like just like having this like I didn't know type of like.
Okay, I didn't like Miss May at first. I like it with that attitude. I like that a lot.
That's funny.
Why I never
gotta get a whole lot of bless your hearts in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
yes, exactly. Oh, bless your heart. You thought you could actually hit me. Just slam them into the mat. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh my.
Begging your pardon.
Yes, like he literally wanted me, like one of the things that he wanted me to do was literally lay them over the ropes and just sit on them on the ropes and just be like, I just needed to break. And like when the ref is like, get off, like I just needed to break. I don't know what you oh, I'm sorry. Could you not? I'm so sorry. Just like being like this absolute bitch. I have no idea what we're gonna do now. Danny thinks I could be like a really bad bruiser, and I'm like, all right. We'll see. We'll see what comes out.
That's awesome. All right, so you finished up your shopping.
Yes, we did. I attuned to the items, so I'm guessing we stayed here for an hour and just chatted for a while.
Yeah, I mean it's still pretty early in the morning, you know, when you woke up and had breakfast, and it's easy enough to call the clerk, who has a name now.
We have a name. We have a name.
He's got a name. I wrote his name down somewhere. I don't know where I did that. Yeah, he's got a name. I don't know what it is now. I don't know where I put it.
Aw.
I put it here. There we go. Okay, yes. Borden Battlehammer.
Borden.
Borden.
Battlehammer.
It's a good name.
Borden Battlehammer. Which you recognize is the same surname as the king. Brunner.
Oh. Is this a sibling? A cousin? A lineage?
Ask him.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna be like, oh, are you like a sibling or like have lineage with the Battlehammers?
He's no, yes, lineage, yes. I'm his great nephew.
Great nephew.
Great-nephew.
Yes.
Nephew. So
Yes,
was it a sister or a brother of his that you are?
He's my great grandfather's brother.
Great grandfather's brother.
Yes, rest his beard.
Rest his beard, indeed.
Rest his beard, indeed.
My great grandfather's been dead now for a few hundred years.
Oh.
Oh, it's quite all right. He's in the halls of Dumathoid now. So
the halls of Dumathoid.
Correct.
What's the if you don't mind me asking, what's the story with the king's resurrection? We've heard a little bit, but
yeah, he led quite the life. He was part of the famous group of adventurers. I don't know if you've heard Brutal Battlehammer and Drizzt Do'Urden and Regis, Canterbury, Wolfgar. Yeah, so they, Brutal Battlehammer. Let's see. I don't know how far back. You just the resurrection story. You're just interested in that. So, I mean, it's not really well known that the Dawn Titan was stolen once before. But Brunner and Drizzt and when Wolfgar and Canterbury all went down into the Underdark to get it back. It took them quite a while. I don't really know the details of what happened, but they did end up getting it back, and they brought it back here, and nobody really knew how to get the Titan out of the flask and get it into the forge. So he took it in and he opened it, and then one of our clerics a few years later brought him back with a resurrection spell. So he was gone to us for quite a while. Yeah, he's the one who originally found Mithril Hall again. Him and his companions, which is after running Mithril Hall for a number of decades, I guess he got the itch to go back adventuring and headed back out. It wasn't long before actually his great nephew, my grandfather, he died, leaving Brunner being the true king of Gauntlgrym. Something I don't think he's real happy about, to be honest with you. But he's a good king.
He seems to want to get a bit closer to the action.
I think he spent most of his life in the action, and that's what he knows. And now he's an old man in a young dwarf's body again. Of course, he's going to want to get out there.
Yeah.
His heart is in the battle.
I can understand that. It's hard to put that away.
I don't know. I don't know how you all do it. I'm happy to be the clerk. I can swing an axe, I'll tell you, but I maybe not my preference.
We've all got our places.
Exactly.
Friendship is
You need a
power
good
hour.
administrator. You're going to keep this place running.
Yes.
You're muted, Eliza. We can't hear you.
Everybody has their purpose. Did you see me go, oh? Everybody has their purpose. Everybody has a place. You need executives and organizers and clerks and yes.
Yes, that's right. I'm very proud of what I do.
Yeah.
As you should. Yes, you are. That was amazing how you got to pick all of those items out so quickly.
Yeah, well, I keep everything cataloged, so I know right where everything is.
Catalog
It's efficient.
Nix's ears perk up just a little bit. I like catalog system.
And also, ma'am, Dazrin Fohammer said, whenever you're ready, he's got the material set up. He's our metal worker, engraver. He's
all right.
Ready for you.
Thank you.
Is there anything else I can help you with? Is there anything else I could get? Any questions you may have? We don't really have any festivities planned for today, so you're kind of welcome to hang out here, or we'll if you're heading out, let us know. We can certainly provide you with rations or anything you might need on your way out. But I'm not kicking you out. You're welcome to stay.
You have any potions? Health potions?
We have an alchemist down in the lower levels, I think. Okay. Yeah, I think we can. We've got some healing potions, a few other minor potions, things like for curing diseases or poisons and stuff like that.
Potions, beautiful.
I mean, I would still love to learn the level system of this and learn a history of how this all came to be, tour of the levels. But I feel like we have something more important, right? Then Nyx is like looking at them. We have something a little more important right now to do, but whenever that would be possible, that was one of the things that I asked for was a tour.
Sure. I'll give you a tour.
Well, I remember that we talked about like the levels and I know that there's going to be ones that are restricted to us, obviously, because we're not dwarves, but like to know just like general, like this is the mining level, this is the alchemist or like potion level, this is the that would
yeah. And he's happy to kind of explain. He's like, oh yeah. There are many places where anybody can't go. We really just have the king's quarters and those suites are kind of off limits to anybody but him and his dignitaries. But other than that, you're any dwarf or any you are welcome to traverse any of the floors you want. The elevators are always running. Help yourself. The bottom levels, so the bottom 3 or 4 levels, that's all mining. That's really we've got the cart paths going. You're welcome. I mean, if you're itching to do some mining, we could use the help. It's actually there's a few new gold ore tunnels. There's a couple silver tunnels. We've got obviously there's a small vein of mithril in one of the tunnels that we've just found in the last couple hundred years. It's very exciting. And then there are there's a diamond deposit on the second to lowest level. It goes down quite far, but you get to it from the second level. But so we're able to mine some diamonds out of there. That's been very lucrative for about the past 60 years. Very exciting. We have on the same level, but on the opposite side, we do have a couple of tunnels where there are other gemstones, some tourmalines, and some emeralds. And then above the mining floors, there's really just a few floors. We have the floor directly underneath us is where most of the dwarves live. We have all of our kind of residential quarters. Those are mostly dug out in straight lines. Those are very nice, very nicely laid out. There's a single avenue, and then there's branching avenues off of each side, and they take you down side corridors where there's many. Some are larger, some are smaller domiciles for the dwarves. And then the next level down is more of a resource area. So it's where we do our trading, making sure that the dwarves have everything they need. You can get that's where you would pick up any supplies that you need if you need, rations, foodstuffs, normal, leather working type items. There's some metal workers down there as well. But Dazrin is actually down on the third level. That's where most of the work gets done. It's where we have most of our armories, and we have the forges are down there. That's also where we produce our gunpowder, and it's usually where we do most of our trades work. And then there's one floor beneath there, so I guess that would be the fourth level, and that's mostly storage. That's where we keep all of our ores before they're being produced, things like that. There's lots of caverns where we keep raw material.
Very nice. Thank you very much. As soon as Nick hears gunpowder, the ears are like.
Oh yes. Gunpowder. We produce that. It's the secret of producing gunpowder is something they probably won't tell you. It's a very highly regarded secret, but it's usually what we use when we're blasting out new tunnels.
Very nice.
You ever seen that? I tell you, that's something else. I don't know if you've ever seen an explosion, especially one down under here, but man, that puckers up your butthole a little bit.
I think we're seeing like types of explosions, not necessarily dwarf explosions, though. But that would be nice.
What kind of weapons do you make with this gunpowder?
What's that?
What kind of weapons do you make around here with like?
We make all types. We have a full armory. We produce a lot of battle axes, but we also we export a lot of weapons. So that's kind of our main. Our forge here is kind of our main producer. So we produce swords for the Neverwinter army. We produce. We don't have a whole lot of wood down here, so we can't really do bows or arrows, things like that. But we do produce the arrowheads. We produce that. We work very closely with some of the elves to produce the arrows. We provide the arrowheads, and they produce the arrows. But all kinds of weapons: halberds, pikes, swords, armors as well. If they're metal armors, we also have a few, like I said, leathersmiths on the fourth floors that produce leather armors, studded armors.
Awesome. That's cool. Yeah, no, I like this place. A lot of power in one area.
One area.
We're very self-contained.
Yes. Arrowheads. All right. I know. Maybe I can get some arrowheads for crossbow bolts and make my own.
Cool.
Yeah, sure.
Idea.
I mean, we also we have some
Crossbows?
arrows. We don't produce them here, but we have them available. Our dwarves use crossbows as well. It's not bows and arrows so much, but we do use crossbows, so we have them on hand in our own armor.
Crossbow bolts! Oh my goodness!
Yeah, you can find some of those down on the third level.
Third level, very nice, very nice, very nice.
And just by the way he's talking, you're realizing that the way that they name their levels is basically the floor you're on now. The top level is level 1, and then the next level down is level 2. The next level down is level 3, so it counts down.
Yeah. So like living quarters is 1, 2 is like the resource trading.
Kind of, but the floor you're on now is 1. So one floor down is the residential. This is more of a hub. This level's more of a hub in the presidential quarters.
So 2 is the living quarters. 3 is all of the trading, including the crossbow.
Yep.
Okay. And that's also where the armory is on the 3rd level?
Yep.
Okay.
If you want to see them being made, that's on the 4th level, but the shops are on the 3rd level.
3rd level. Okay. And then the 4th is like storage, the ores, and then the rest of the floors
That's
are
the
mining.
5th level. The 4th level is where we have all our blacksmiths and our forges, and it's where we do the work. And then level 5 is our storage levels for the raw materials.
Okay, so
it's also where we keep the stuff that we import if they're not in the shops.
4th is like the actual forges. Got it. Okay. And then the bottom 4 levels is the mines.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. So 2 is the living quarters, 3 is the trading, 4th is the forges in the work area, 5th is the storage, and then the rest are mining levels.
That's right.
Got it. All right. Nyx is quickly like flipping to a new page and like we're like doing like a crude sketch of like levels.
Just so you know, there's no map of Gauntlgrym. There's no.
Yeah, there's no map. This is why Nyx is like making a crude one.
Very good.
Is the living quarters where the king's quarter is, or is that in the hub?
He's off the main hub. They have separate quarters here on the main floor.
Thank you.
Sure.
Ma'am says, well, thanks for the thorough rundown. Another question for you. You know much about the construction of the forge that holds the Titan?
I don't. I mean, I have some notes. I can go run and get them for you if you're interested in the details. I don't have it off the top of my head. I didn't really. I haven't studied that particularly, but I can go grab that for you if you want me to find the histories.
I'm just I'm particularly interested in abjurative and warding magic. I saw some interesting looking runes. Didn't know if there was available information.
I can go talk to some of our magic users, our wizards. I know they'll know all about it. Maybe one of them can come talk to you.
Sure. If you've got the time. You've done
of course,
a lot for us already.
Sure. Well, we really appreciate what you've done here. So you're honorary dwarves as far as I'm concerned. There's something I can get for you.
Dwarf.
All right. Never thought I'd see the day.
Yeah. Thought I was too tall for that, but right.
Just this room of animal folk towering over this dwarf.
Yeah.
I'm a dwarf.
That's awesome.
Never underestimate those dwarves, though. They will kick your ass.
I know that.
As they buried one of the biggest of us in a drinking cup. Well, buried isn't the right term, but you know. We're dealing with the
count that as a burial. I count that.
We count it as a burial? Okay, we bury it.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Y'all doing Vark dirty.
We love Vark. We love him
Love
dearly.
Come on.
And he only lost by 1 round. However, it was that 1 round that that really like where he got like poisoned with alcohol, and the dwarves were fine. The dwarves were fine, and we weren't. The only reason why the monk is fine is because I'm immune to poison.
That's right. No hangover for Nyx.
No hangover for me. Well, there might be, but I'm not poisoned. I can still function.
Right. That's right. All right. So Borden, well, if there's nothing else, I'll go check with the wizards and is there anything else I can get for you? I can.
I still need those potions.
Oh yes, the potions. I can get I don't have the list with me, but I can get a full list for you while I'm out.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Much appreciated, friend.
Okay, excellent.
Ma'am will kind of look at the others.
Would this be a good time, do you think, for the little ceremony I talked about?
I think it would be. I think he's gonna. I think. Whoa, hang on. I think Borden has his hands full right now. So
yeah. Borden, then in that case, could you one last thing let those invited know that we're getting underway?
Oh yes, of course. I know Brunner was very interested. He's gonna bring Thibault Dwarf as well, and I think there were a couple of the dwarves that were there that are also interested in coming.
Fantastic.
Right. And I mean, I wasn't there, but I'd like to.
Yes, of course.
She puts a hand on his shoulder.
Yes, of course, Borden. I would love to have you there.
I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, I'll send for everyone and be right back. And he kind of shuffles his way out and closes the door behind him.
What exactly do you need me to do?
It'll. Let's just head on down, maybe.
Aw, okay.
Should I wait? Should I let you two do your thing?
No.
What?
No. Now
okay. Okay. Goodbye.
Now's the time for the ceremony, so everybody should come down to
right. Sorry, I just okay.
Yes, everyone, please be my guests and come down the third level, I believe.
Happened. Okay. All right. Let's go.
Woo, that rude. Woo. All right. Well. Uh-oh. What was that for?
That was how many potions are going to be available.
Oh, nice. I was like, oh no, what do we do?
Okay.
We provoked the Dawn Titan. That's all that ma'am needs during this whole ceremony.
All right. So you all are you waiting for Borden to return with any of this stuff, or are you heading towards the third level?
I thought we told him that we would meet him there, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we
I missed that.
down.
Okay, very good. Yes, go ahead. So you make your way out of the room. You know the way to the center area, and you kind of as you're leaving where you are, you kind of get the impression that you're in like fancy guest quarters, like up on this level here. So you make your way towards the hub, and you can see there's a few dwarves there by the elevators that look like they're specifically waiting for you, and you recognize a couple of them. And as you're making your way towards the elevator, you see from the chambers, from the hall where you had your big gala. You can see Bruner and Thibbledorf also coming along, and Bruner looks like he's wearing his like ceremonial armor. Like it is shiny, but it's also dented in places, and like he's wearing his helm with the one missing horn on the top, but he is beaming, like he's got this giant smile on his face, and he sees you and his eyes light right up, and he's like, he's like, I'm excited, let's do it. Okay, all right, I'll be quiet, you do this is all your thing.
When Ma'am sees him, she claps him on the back, looks directly at his helmet, and says,
very appropriate for the occasion.
Excellent, good. And so you all kind of get on to you're watching as the elevator's constantly in motion. So after you have this nice moment, you're kind of waiting for the platform to come down towards where you are. And it does kind of slow as it reaches actual floor level, but it never stops. So, you all hop onto the platform, and you make your way down. Yep, you make your way down past the residential levels, and you can see there's a few dwarves. It seems as though word may have gotten out that something is kind of going on. So you see a whole lot of dwarves, and everyone's kind of watching, and they kind of see you go down. And people are, for the most part, that they're being 100%. They're being respectful. Nobody's like jumping on the platform with you, but you can see that there's a little bit of a scuttlebutt about what's happening here. So you make your way, then you make your way down to the third level where the shops are. And you're headed to the fourth level, is that right?
Yeah, I think they said he was where like the workshops.
Yeah. Gauntlgrym. Yeah. So you go past the shops, and you can see a little bit less, but there are a bunch of dwarves kind of like lined up around the edges to kind of watch as you go by. But you can also see past them that there's some good shopping being done. There's some people, there's some dwarves, moving around. So you make your way down. You stay on the thing, and you come down towards the working levels. And you can see that there's different tunnels leading off. There's a couple of very large open areas where there's a kind of a staging area, if you will, where dwarves are milling about a little bit. But you also see that there's one dwarf who seems to be like kind of standing tall. He keeps like brushing his his apron off a little bit. Looks maybe a little bit anxious. And as you all kind of hop off the platform before it gets too far to get off on this level, this dwarf comes right up to you, ma'am, and kind of like does like an awkward kind of like holds his hand out to shake, and then kind of like bows, and he's I'm Dazzrin Fohammer. But ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Ma'am just like grabs his arm in like a forearm type embrace, and almost like pulls him up from his nod to just like do a like strong handshake. And
thank you. I've heard that you're the best, and I appreciate your willingness to participate.
Of course, I appreciate that. I'm happy to help. Now, please, this way. And he kind of brings the whole back, and then you see that he takes you off into one of the passageways. And as you're kind of leading down this passageway, dwarves kind of see you coming, and they all kind of like move to the sides of the tunnel, so you can make your way through it. You have this whole procession with King Bruder and Thibbledorf, and there's 4 or 5 other dwarves that are kind of tailing along them, Borden included. And so as you're making your way down the tunnel there, you keep off on the side. They've got these kind of cool setups where it's like a half wall of stone, so you can see into the area, but it's still kind of cordoned off. And you can see as you're passing, there's forges. There's a couple places where clearly there's metal work going on. You can hear the ringing sound of hammer on anvil as you're coming down these tunnels. And probably the 5th or 6th alcove on the right, he kind of pulls you into. And you can see that the setup is beautiful. He has a forge blowing fire in one area. He's got his anvil out, but he's also got a couple of other stations that look like maybe there's more finer work being done at those stations. He's got, some tools carved into some sections in the walls where he can pull them out. And then he's got some iron. He's got like iron lattice work above one of the stations where he has all these different small tools that are hanging from little clips from the iron area. And he brings you in, and he's, I kind of cleared out all my other projects, so I'm ready. I'm ready to work here.
All right. And ma'am is just kind of instruct everyone, the witnesses, as she refers to them, to they can just kind of stand, wherever. And she's going to hand Nyx Mazindum, her hammer.
Oh shit.
And kind of just motion for Nyx to stand kind of to the side as ma'am sits in the middle of the room.
Whoa.
Oh,
Glad I came.
yeah.
She
no, I'm like cradling it.
ma'am kind of nods at Nyx and nods at the crowd and just says,
Thank you all for being here. We'll begin.
And she nods at sorry, what's the engraver's name?
Dazrin.
Dazrin. She nods at Dazrin, who I think has received the instructions on what to do. And he would start to work engraving runes along ma'am's the outside of her right tusk. You all might recognize like Luxodon script from seeing ma'am's spell book and her casting spells. All her glyphs are always giant or Luxodon. And about halfway up, he engraves just a circle that kind of enrings the whole thing, and then keeps going. And I imagine it's just kind of quiet. There would be some candles burning, maybe just the smell of like oil or metal, molten metal. And once he's done,
mixed with the smell of Thibbledorf.
Yes. Once he's done, ma'am will pick up one of the candles and drip some of the wax along her tusk and kind of smear it over the runes. And then she'll motion to Drazen for some clay, which she'll kind of put around the tusk, but leave it sparse. Like there's none around where that circle was. And then she just kind of touches her hands to it, and I think uses like mold earth to just like harden it. And then she kneels down in front of an anvil, and she'll motion for Nyx to come over. And
Nyx
she places her tusk with the clay around it onto the anvil, so that right on the edge where there is like the weak point, it's right on the edge of the anvil. And she'll look at Nyx, and she'll look at the hammer, and she'll nod.
Nyx just looks at ma'am to confirm one more time.
She nods.
And then Nyx just picks up Mizrin and onto the weak point.
And there's a collective gasp from the dwarfs, and they're like, and you see Bruner's rubbing his helmet. He's like, yeah.
I imagine ma'am like winces. That absolutely doesn't feel good. But very quickly Drizzen would know. He would quickly grab the part that broke off. Man would straighten up, and he would actually pour the molten metal, the gold, into the broken off part, and then pour some into the clay that's still on ma'am. And there's probably a couple moments of shocked silence before he starts chipping away all the clay, and Ma'am starts chipping away the clay on the broken off piece, and she is left with half of her right tusk has been removed, but you see that the molten she'd basically made a mold with the clay and the wax, so there's a like gold cap on the end of it, and the runes have been like the gold went into the runes, and then on the severed part, it's the same thing, a gold cap with the runes are all gold as well. And she stands up and she gestures to the part on her remaining tusk, and she says, "Should all else fail," and she holds up the severed part and gestures, "We shall not. This is a ritual that the strongest warriors amongst my people go through to empower ourselves for certain spells and prepare for the inevitable. This ritual signifies potentially having to go against those you trust, and traditionally, it is written, should all else fail, I shall not. I chose to change those words because I'm part of the folk band now, and we are the ones who will defend this land." And she'll just hold her hand out for Mizindum, and look at Nyx, and with a very solemn nod say, "Thank you," and then look to Drizzt and put a hand on him and say, "Thank you. Thank you very much."
Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
That is awesome! Oh god!
Beautiful.
So you have like part of your tusk now?
Yes, and you know what? As
Half of the
part
tusk.
of the ritual, let's just now have the material components. Yeah, we'll say for I'll spend an extra 10 minutes at the end of the ritual as a casting of contingency, which my tusk is the spellcasting focus for.
Let's see. Oh my gosh.
So awesome.
And I'll Nick, I can text you or message you to tell you what I'm casting.
Okay.
Wait, so you have like half a tusk or something? What's
Yeah, so now Ma'am has her right tusk, which is the hand that she wields her weapon with. Her right tusk is just like half a nub with runes on it.
dude?
That was just incredible.
Thank you.
I
I've been thinking about that all week.
Him.
That's what an and you know, for that being the material component for that, like that was like just that's awesome. Yeah, that is just incredible.
I saw the material component. I was like, ooh, that's too good. Like it's specifically it's a statuette carved out of ivory, but I asked Nick if mine could just be rune carved ivory with gold instead of jewels.
Yeah. And the spell calls for a statuette of yourself.
Yes.
So
yeah.
to interpret it like that is that I mean, that's awesome. Like not like it looks like Ma'am, but it's actually a piece of yourself.
Yeah.
Just awesome.
That was cool.
Just
I like
awesome.
that idea.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
I'm totally going to share that with my other group. I hope that's okay.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's so cool.
Flash and Chris, listen to this. Are you there?
Oh my
I'll
gosh.
hear that.
Chris isn't here, but
Yeah,
Flash
no.
might have heard.
Flash.
It's forever. It's forever on the
I
internet.
definitely did hear it.
It will be.
You heard it.
Oh
Awesome.
my gosh. Nyx is still like.
Yeah, and at this point, the dwarves
awe.
are just like in unison. They're just like 1 foot on the like stomp, boom,
Stomping.
boom.
The
Like they're
stomp.
totally into it. They love it.
Ma'am like goes there afterwards and like individually thanks everybody for attending.
Yeah. And they're all very solemn about, they taking your hand and, that was incredible. Thank you for letting me be a part of that.
Yes, well, traditionally it is the warriors of the clan, so I figured this was my clan's a bit scattered right now, but we shared the battlefield and
and dwarves being very clan-like as well. You see that those words kind of hit them a little harder than maybe any other normal person. And each one of them kind of like as they, you're my clan now. You ever need a clan, we're here.
Ma'am probably comes the closest you've ever seen her to tearing up, but she does not let it break.
Awesome. And Bruner, last of all, he kind of takes your arm and he brings his other hand over as well and like clamps on you. And, as someone who's outlived most of his close friends, I know what it's like to be without a clan. And he kind of looks at the other folk band and the other dwarves around them, and Thibbledorf, who kind of nods next to him. Family isn't always bloodline. You look like you've got a good family here, and
Ma'am.
you're always welcome to be a part of mine as well.
Ma'am looks back at the rest of the folk band.
I think you're right.
Ma'am, is that a Tia? Is that a Tia that I see?
No, what? No.
Really,
It's okay. Let it out.
my
Let it
tusk.
out.
Oh, my tusk. Oh, man. It's like the worst tooth pain you ever could imagine. You have a dwarven dentist. I gotta. Oh.
And Dazrin's like wiping his cheeks. It's like, it's hot in here. It's just sweat.
Yeah. Sweat. That's right. Elephants. Our pores. They're ginormous.
I just pat you on the back. All right, buddy.
And Nyx is just standing there, kind of like in awe of all of this. And, monks have their own, like, brutal traditions to go through. So Nyx understands the sacrifice that was just made and just kind of stands in solidarity and just.
I mean, it must be an honor to be. It must be an honor to be a part of that. Actually, like.
Yeah, to actually do that. Holy shit! I was like, "Are you sure?" What the? I was like, "Oh, this is what we're doing." Okay.
I'll do whatever.
I was like, "Oh shit! I'm breaking the tusk."
Well, anyways, we should probably we should get a move on, huh? See about those other things we talked about, and yeah, gotta make a plan for where we're going. Fire giants and
same. Bruner's like, yeah, we all need to get back to it. You guys need to get back to your posts. I've got a meeting I need to get back to. So y'all, let me know if you need anything. We're meeting with some representatives with a trade guild. So if there's anything I can get for you, let me know.
Representatives of a trade guild.
Yeah,
right,
yeah. They're looking to open up lines. They're from down south. It'd be interesting to kind of open up some more lines. Shit.
What? What happened?
I was like, wait a second, this seems relevant.
Yeah. Down south. Oh, wait, what? Down south.
Quick break?
Yeah, no, quick break. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Bathroom break, yeah.
Bathroom break. All right. I'm here. I'm just trying to clean up.
Okay. Are we all here?
Mario's still muted. I don't know if he's come back.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. All right. I'll go ahead then. Assuming we're all ready. Yeah. So Bruno says, yeah. I have a meeting with a new trade guild. They're looking to establish some trade between us and down to Calamshan, I think he said. I don't know. So it might be a good deal for us. If you'll excuse me, I need to.
Calamshan. Calamshan. How far down south is that?
What's shoot, I already forgot his name. Shit, hang on. Sorry. Borden. Hey, give me just 1 second. Borden, can you go and let Tenzel know I'm going to be a little bit late. What were you asking?
Sorry, I have breadstick in my mouth. I was asking, how far south is Calamshan?
It is very south. It's like I don't know. Let me see if I have. I don't know if I have a map that shows. Okay, yes, this is. Is that right? No, I don't think it goes as far as Boulder. Let me see if I have a full map. I think I only have northern favor. I'm not sure I have a map with Calamshan on it here in Fantasy Grounds. But I will see if I can. Right, high res favorite. Okay. That's pretty close.
From what I remember, the furthest south I've been is Waterdeep, I believe.
Waterdeep. Okay. Yeah. This is considerably farther than that. So from Neverwinter to Waterdeep, from Waterdeep to Calamshan is probably
Big distance.
3, 4, 5 times the distance.
Oh my god!
And Naruk, I think you're from the desert of Calamshan, right?
I'm from the Auric Desert.
Oh shoot!
That's where I got my name, actually. Fun fact. Naruk.
Oh.
Auric of the Auric Desert.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, something about that name tugs at your memory, Naruk.
It does sound familiar. I may say.
So
Caversham Desert?
No, when he told Borthen to go tell the emissary that he'd be a few minutes. The name of the emissary kind of tugged at your memory.
Okay.
Tunzel.
Tunzel. I think.
Alright, so wait.
Should I roll like a...
The distance from Neverwinter to Waterdeep, that distance from Waterdeep to the Calamshan Desert is 5 times that distance?
Correct.
Crazy.
Holy shit.
Yes, quite the jaunt.
That's not a jaunt. That's a marathon. Holy shit!
I don't know if I can even. This might be too.
Who's hyperbolizing?
I understand, my dear Nuruk. I am just saying that is a marathon.
It's long.
It is long.
Long way. Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah, Bruner's like, yeah. Apparently they came a long way. He says that they've got some really nice goods. He's got some stuff for me to try out, and man, it sounds like an opportunity.
Well,
Do any of you know anything about trade?
Oh yes. I'm big on trade. That's my bread and butter, my friend.
Really?
Oh yes. I come from a long line of a merchants guild. Things happen, but you know.
Oh, it's fantastic. I don't suppose you want to come help me negotiate this deal, would you?
Okay. Well, I might be a little rusty, the old haggling, but yeah, let's do it.
Fantastic.
Go.
The rest of you, of course, are welcome to join. If I can make this guy nervous, that's only going to work to my advantage, right?
Of course. Well, you know, it's all about win-win. You know, you don't want to have a win-lose negotiation. You want both sides to come out, you know, happy. All right, well, let's go.
Yeah, excellent. All right.
Of course.
As long as this, and he points at himself, as long as this side's happy.
Oh, yeah, no, don't worry. Don't worry about that.
Nick's kind of like sketched out being invited to a trade negotiation, and is like, I mean, I'll be there to take notes. I'm always interested in meeting new people, but in terms of like negotiation, these do the trick for me. And she's just showing her claws. They're just showing their claws. Yeah. And it's like, I don't, you know, Nick's used to be able to talk their way out of things. Now it's more easy to just.
Yeah. Bruner pats the battle axe at his hip. He's like, I know exactly how you mean. But I'm not sure this guy is going to be happy with the way I negotiate. So and having a Nuruk along would be great.
Of course.
Yeah. I just look at Nuruk because I think I noticed a glimmer of recognition at the name. Are you sure you're good alone? I mean, I know you're going with Bruner, but
well, I mean, you know, I used to back in the old days. I used to you know see how the sausage was made, so to say. Can I just get a rundown who we're talking to again? This.
Oh yeah, of course. This guy, he says his name is Tunzel. He's from the Salator Guild, and he's looking to offload a whole bunch of goods, and he wants to set up a trade between us and them.
Wait a second. 1 sec, please.
Yep. And yeah. So I imagine this was Naruk's reaction as well.
Okay.
Like he just like stops walking.
Wait a second. I see what's going on here. Okay.
Hold up a second. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Yes, of course. I would love to set up trade. I would. This is what I used to do. And I'm sorry. What name did you just say?
Oh, you're funny. Okay. Holy shit. Yeah, I'll negotiate. I'll talk. Yeah. Okay.
Mama's gonna say, "Sounds like you might need some of this," and just hands him a shot of the cider that we had. And I'm gonna cast Enhance Ability and used Eagle's Splendor on Naruk to give him advantage on charisma checks.
Okay, thank you.
I've had that spell for a long time and never prepare it for social days.
I chug the cider. I chug another cider.
Awesome. Does that have an effect?
It gives him advantage on charisma checks.
Ooh.
Excellent.
Oh, do yeah, do I?
Yeah, I think you can actually put an
that
effect on him. Yeah.
Let's see.
Man, whoa.
Oh, look at that. Yep. I can target him from the combat tracker, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, nice. And nice.
That's doubled up.
So from Nyx's perception and observing Naruk in this like one little second of like, oh, this is who I'm trading with. What kind of vibe am I getting? Is this like
bad
vibe? Bad vibe, like they're like enemies, they're like rivals, or like that this is like walking into danger type of situation.
No, I just have a bone to pick.
Bone to
pick.
You're also a little bit confused about this, about how he might be represent. Like last you knew.
Last you knew.
What?
Last Rick knew.
Wait, what? Wait. Sorry, this is all coming at me. Wait, what?
The focus is on the Rick now.
What's happening? I'm so confused.
So
I'm expecting this.
All right. So right. So from Naruk's perspective, in full DM disclosure here. I have this whole thing set up for Naruk. It's been set up for such a long time that I have now forgotten if you told me this information or if I made this up myself. So I honestly don't know how much you know about what's going on. So if you want, what I can do is Naruk can explain to the folk band what he knows, and basically that'll be me reading this to you.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I give the background and all that shit.
Yes. Yeah. If you wanted, now that you heard the name Tunzel and the Guild of Salatar, now you kind of like the folk band. Okay, like
no.
This is weird. This is what I remember.
See, it was when you said Celathor that I remembered that as a player. But okay, all right. Anyways,
okay. All right. So Naruk kind of explains to everyone else that Naruk began his career performing at various trade expos for the Eye of Celathor Merchants Guild.
Yes.
He proceeded to climb the ladder and become the High Quarters Master of Ceremonies, which allowed him to be a close acquaintance of and an informal advisor to the guild leader, Salfa. The guild was headquartered in the desert, and its business nature complements the Camel Fox nomadic lifestyle, and Naruk holds this special position within the guild, which allows him to stay within the High Quarters walls. One day, a couple of Naruk's close acquaintances, Farax and Tunzel, devised an elaborate plan to stealthily divert wares and coinage out from the Eye's cash flow and into their own pockets. Oblivious to the scheme, Naruk was subtly persuaded by them during a late night of revelry. He was drinking. The scheme was eventually found out, but it was after the damage had been done, and Farax and Tunzel were nowhere to be found. Naruk swore to the guild that he was conned into this, but his words were not taken into account. Betrayal, no matter the severity, is met with excommunication. That's why he was excommunicated, and he now carries this with him wherever he goes, and has been trying to avoid the guild ever since because of this.
Pretty much the reason I ran into the folk band in the first place was I was on this kind of excommunication nomadic journey. That's how I first came across the folk band.
I remembered that part. I did not remember that you were that this person Nyx has like their claws slowly like going out, going in, going out, going try to like not show their claws too much. But are you sure you just want them to? Do you want us outside the door? Do you want like what do you want?
Come with me. I'll do the talking. I just need some answers.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. We're just gonna pose and be all super strong. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, if they draw their weapons, we're gonna kill them. I mean, it's I have no connection with these people anymore.
Got it. There's not going to be lingering guilt over this.
I know what true friendship is. These are not friends.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
the rook. Oh.
All right. And with that, you guys are now entering into, his Bruner's Grand Hall where he's having this meeting. And as you kind of, the doors open and you all kind of walk in as this kind of a procession. But at this point, like, the mood in the folk band has changed. And it's no longer like this happy, like, let's make a deal procession. It's now like Bruner walks in with this like gang behind him. And it's everyone just immediately stares at the man sitting in, the dignitary's chair, kind of all by himself. And he hears the doors open and he's got this look, he's wearing very fancy silks, he's got like lace at his neck and at his wrists. And he's just got this air about him, and he turns in that kind of air and he looks over, and he sees Bruner and he sees the people behind, and he starts to smile and get up, and then he sees Naruk and he just stops.
I'm crossing my hopes.
And then he recovers a little bit and he stands up. King Bruner, it's wonderful to see you. And who is this? And he turns, this is the folk band. They're going to do the negotiating with me.
Friggin' folk band. Just like a quiet little
folk band.
The friggin' folk band. Oh, the friggin' folk band. Okay. Very well. And like you see him swallow hard. Excellent.
And I step forward. And my name's Naruk.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Naruk.
A pleasure to meet you too, Tanzul.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Pleasure. So
shall we get the meeting on then? And he kind of like gestures to the side, and there's like this one like page carrying a chest, right? And he kind of carries the chest over and he puts it down, he opens the lid, and you can see there's gold in there, but it's more items. Like you see there's an urn, and there's a couple of necklaces, and there's a couple of bracelets, and he kind of like, waves at the chest. This is but a sampling of the items that my guild offers. As you'll see, you can have your people come and look at them. They're all of the highest quality.
And may I ask where you got these items?
Our sourcing methods are far and wide. We gather such items from all across the land of Faerun. From the very north of the 10 towns, all the way to Kalimshan, and we even have people in Chult.
Well, that's very noble of you. Yes. These items look fantastic. Please, go on. Tell us more about these items. The meeting's on, by the way. We're not waiting to start the meeting. But the second we walk in, the meeting has commenced.
Excellent.
Yes, that's how we do it at the Eye of South. I mean, the friggin' folk band. That's how we do things around here. Yeah.
Well, good. I appreciate a buyer who gets right down to business. Clearly, you're motivated to buy. I like that. So these items are of the magical quality. We have our own enchanters who can take mundane items of high quality, make and enchant them into wondrous magical items. For instance, David, bring it over. Yes, no, the first one. Yes, as we talked about. Yes, thank you. And he holds the necklace out, and you can see that there's a whole bunch of like orange jewels put into the necklace. This is your classic necklace of fireballs.
Let me
Each
see.
one of,
Can I see the necklace? I take the necklace. I just kind of look at it.
of course.
And I throw it to the side. Listen.
What?
Tanzul, cut the crap.
I'm sorry. Did you just throw a necklace of fireballs to the side?
Yes. What does that mean?
Hang on a second. Let me see if you have to attune to this first.
Okay, let's see what
I'm trying to build drama. God damn.
Yeah, you are building drama. Are you kidding me? Setting this whole place on fire is drama. Yeah. In the meantime, can I do perception on the items in the chest before this?
Okay, so I'm going to say that Naruk knows enough about stuff to know that you can hurl multiple beads of a necklace of fireballs or even the whole necklace as one action. When you do so, increase the level of the fireball by 1 for each bead beyond the first one. So I'm pretty sure you don't want to cast a level 9 fireball in this room.
Holy shit. Okay. All right. Oh God.
How about you drop?
I drop it.
A little mic drop.
I drop. But I don't.
Okay, sorry
drop
for that little tangent. Go ahead. All right.
But I don't drop the daggers that my eyes are shooting at.
Yes, very good.
At Tanzul. I look at him. I'm like, cut the crap, Tanzul. You know who I am. I know who you are. Where's Farax? You know exactly what you did to me. Are you still in the Eye of Selthor?
What?
You know what before I found these amazing people, do you know what I went through because of your stupid shenanigans, Arg?
He's like looking at King Bruner. He's like, oh.
No, look at me.
What is going on here? Who is this madman? Is this a bargaining tactic, Bruno? I'm sorry, King Battlehammer? This is outrageous.
You know what? You're outrageous. I look at the folk band. What should I do? Emotions.
You are having a lot of emotions right now, my friend. So,
I hate
with
this
the power,
you hate
him.
I hate him. I don't hate a lot of people. I hate this person.
You despise him. I understand.
My life's work. My life's all my goals and aspirations. I'm kind of whispering to you.
Yeah.
Is this working right now? Okay.
Yes, we get it. We're whispering to each other.
Okay. You're a motherfucker. I don't like you. I walk out. Okay. I'm just walking out, and I have my hand on my weapon. I don't know. I might.
Ma'am chases him out.
Nick is gonna stay in the meeting, knowing Ma'am is a better talker than Nyx right now, and Nyx is gonna swagger up to what's his name? Tungzul,
yep.
I apologize.
He's like nervously pulling at the lace at his neck, and he's kind of shying away from you as you walk up to him.
That's a nice lace. Where'd you get it?
I had it made in Waterdeep. Special. It's custom ordered.
Does Waterdeep? I've been to Waterdeep. Do they make lace? I didn't think that was.
They do.
They do. That's very nice. Can I tell if it's Waterdeep Place? I spent some time there.
I mean,
You can
maybe.
still hear rumblings from the other room. That's
Yeah.
like,
Hang on. I am an artisan, technically.
Are you giving it a passing glance, or are you gonna really take a look at it?
I'm like leaning in, just like I'm leaning at the leaning to look at the chest, but I'm looking at the lace. Like really.
He's like leaning back a little bit, but okay. So I don't know. What do you think? Investigation, history, or insight? Your choice.
I have better insight. I have way better insight.
Am I talking to ma'am in the other room right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. What do you have to say? Like, what should I do with these people?
All right,
like,
hold on. Just
it does look familiar. A couple of the patterns look right for what you saw coming out of Waterdeep.
That's some very nice lace. You were talking about the items, and like her one ear is facing towards the wall where they left, and one ear is facing directly towards the sky.
Yeah. So Nora, just take a breath. Take a breath. All right. And ma'am kind of like all through her trunk and everything, trying to like show Nuruk like deep breath. You've seen me get angry, you know. I lose my temper sometimes. I get real mad about evil wizards.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Just, I get it. I
What
got
you...
one.
Okay.
I got one question for you.
Yes. What?
What do you want from this man?
What
do you want out of this interaction? Do you want an apology? Do you want revenge? What do you want from him in this moment?
To be honest, it's been so long. It's an emotion I haven't felt in so long. You know, it's I feel like I've blocked this whole thing out of my mind, but it's seeing this person in the flesh is just kind of brought back all these feelings and resentments. I don't know what I feel about him anymore. Have you ever been stabbed in the back, ma'am? I'm talking, you know, everything from birth to, you know, you're part of this thing, this brotherhood, and then after, you know, wait, how old am I? Wait, 1 sec. Pause. After like 18 years, your best friends just devise a plan and they throw you under the bus and you're just excommunicated from everybody you know. Have you ever felt that pain?
Well, you know, I spent my whole life preparing to serve a certain cause, to protect the resting place of my people. I did that job for a very long time. And when I went to check on my people again, they were gone. Not even a word. So I think I know something about feeling betrayed.
Yes, it creates an emptiness in you.
Now, I don't want to tell you what to do here, but does this man have the power to give you back what he took from you?
No.
Then you got to decide if he's worth your time.
He is not.
Then I ask again, what do you want from this situation?
Oh, damn.
Answers?
Yes.
An apology? It's all up to you. Well, then I suggest we go back in there and get some damn answers.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am just pats him on the shoulder.
In the meantime, when you walk in, Nyx is practically like half laying on the table, like the tail just going back and forth, staring at the sky as he like tries to explain the items in the chest to them.
It's awesome. And he's, he's just doing his thing, kind of,
Yes.
he still looks a little nervous.
Sorry, is he a camel folk?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great. Because I'm picturing this like smarmy Joe Camel looking like yes.
Joe Camel.
Joke camel. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Nyx is like half laying on the table, just like, okay, so this was the necklace of fireballs. This was a necklace of what?
And he looks at Brunner. He's like, "Are we still? What is
Don't look at
happening
him
here?"
We are still in the midst of it. I just took over for a second. This was the necklace of what?
Oh, okay.
I'm just standing. I'm just standing back. I'm.
David, bring the next one. And you see the little page grabs the other necklace and brings it over. This is a necklace of prayer beads.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wonderful item. It's something that you just can't find anywhere, but we can produce them for the right price, of course, and plus an exclusivity clause would certainly be necessary for us to provide you with such wondrous items.
Exclusivity.
King Bruno.
Religion check on this?
On the item?
Or just religion check in general, or maybe it's not religion check, but are they the only ones who can make these prayer beads? I thought.
No, no.
That's bullshit.
They certainly don't have, the exclusive way to produce things like this. I think he means providing these items exclusively to King Brunner instead of just, giving him first crack at buying stuff.
Right, but what was about these prayer beads? It was.
What about them?
Yeah. What about these? What was? Sorry, can you? So it was prayer bead necklace.
Yeah.
And does what?
Oh, what it does, it has magic beads that allow you to do different things depending upon which bead you take. I can cast the spell Bless, for instance, or Greater Restoration, or even a smite, a brandishing smite, I believe, a branding smite. Yes, depending on the color bead.
I look over to ma'am. Do you sense any magic at all? Do you have detect? Do you have detect magic?
Yeah, I do, but I would have to cast it out as a ritual.
Okay.
Maybe I can take
please,
a look.
Please, of course. Come look. Absolutely.
Ma'am, not ma'am. Nyx like brings the chest closer to themselves and like starts looking through.
and as you like reach for it, he like intercedes. He's like, please, let me. We'll bring them out as necessary to show them. Please, if you wouldn't be so grabby, I would appreciate that. Yes, thank you. Ma'am, so you take a look at it, and I mean, it looks legit. Like you can feel a sense of magic. Like you can tell that it's not just like plastic beads in a necklace. Like it does definitely feel like it's a magical item.
Ma'am will say,
I can get a magical vibe, but Nurik, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yes, I do. I slowly walk.
And he looks you up and down, and before you can even say anything, have you gathered your wits, friend? Is this going to be another outburst?
Okay.
Nix
Okay.
was
Everyone,
about to.
everyone. I will admit,
Nix was about to vacate the chair and then brings their body further on the table.
it's all good. It's all good. I will admit, I came in hot. I almost killed everybody with fireball. We're necklace fireball. I admit that. I will take the higher road. I look at Tunzul in the eye. Do you remember me at all?
And he kind of like looks at you, and you can see he's like side glances at like, everyone else in the room, and he kind of looks at you, and you see like he does this whole like, wait, Naruk? And he comes in for like a hug, and like he puts his arms around you, and like he holds, and like he whispers in your ear, "Don't fuck this up, I'll cut you in." And he pats you on the back, and he kind of leans back, and he's like, "I'm so sorry, I didn't recognize you. Are you well? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I understand why you would be upset with me."
Well, friend, I've never been better. But after 18 years of brotherhood and then being excommunicated because of one of your cockamamie schemes, I need answers. I don't want revenge. I don't want sympathy. I just want answers. That's it.
No, hold on. I mean, I heard you were excommunicated, but
Oh yeah.
One of my skin. I don't understand. What do you
Remember,
mean?
it was. Oh my god! Really? Okay. Oh man, I must be getting the wrong information. You and Farax. Remember Farax?
Farax. I don't know. Doesn't
We were
don't think
partying on
that
the
rings a
third.
bell. No.
We were partying on the third level of the basement one night. I remember this quite well. Believe me. We were all partying, having some drinks, and you came up with this scheme, and you told me. I'm kind of like saying this to the side, not in front of everybody. Just so you know, yeah.
He's making eye contact with everybody and kind of doing this like no, that's not true.
So
while you do it,
why? What happened? What was that thing you told me? Like, what was that whole plan you told me about? Why was I the one thrown out? Why were you?
I don't. I think. I mean, I do remember you, and I remember this was some time ago that the guild had excommunicated, but I don't. I think you might have me confused with somebody else. I wasn't a part of any plot. Seems. I mean, I'm sounds like something terrible happened to you, and I'm so sorry if that were the case. But I'm sorry, friend. I'm not the person you think I am.
You are.
Is he bullshitting? Is he bullshit?
Would you like to do an insight check on that?
Yeah.
I would fucking love to.
Man will make an insight check. She's not good at it, but
all right, you got a second.
Yeah.
21.
Boom.
27 for the Rick. Oh my gosh.
18 years of brotherhood. You don't remember me, huh?
Let's see.
Tunzul.
Oh man, yeah, Naruk, he's gonna have a hard time beating that. All right, let's try.
Straight.
I'm gonna roll it in the open because if he does beat it, yeah, no.
No fucking way.
Yeah, I mean, everyone who rolled higher than a 16 knows this guy's. I mean, the pitch of his voice keeps changing, like the nervous ticks around the lace around his neck, the way he's kind of like looking at everyone else, like looking for someone to save him. He
So
doesn't
Ma'am might
appear to
not
be
pick it
very
up.
honest.
Man,
Come on, being from the Eye of Self,
leans to Nyx.
I would expect you to have better negotiation skills, my friend. I'd expect to, the nonverbal cues. I'd expect you to be a little better than that.
You all hear from behind you, Bruner's voice. What the fuck? Somebody grab this guy.
Nick
Wait,
leaps
and
across the
he's
table.
like, wait, no.
Nick, see, like, as soon as like Bev like leads into be like, is this guy bull? Nick's just, as soon as Bruner's like, grab him, boom, across the table.
And I look at him.
Just like it's like,
I look at him once more. I look at him once more. I look at him once more. I'm like,
position.
Full fetal position. I'm looking at him. I'm just like, answer me.
No, the page went full fetal position. Tunzel just got tackled by Nyx.
Yeah, you just see a full panther just leap across the table, full claws out, boom to the chair goes down.
So wait, where's
a terrible picture.
So he's on the floor with Nyx on top of him, like
where's Tunzel now? Is Tunzel's like being carried away?
No, Tunzel's on the floor with Nyx over top of him.
Nyx. Okay, all right, gotcha. Okay. Answer me now.
Well, I'm and like, Bruner comes over and like takes his axe out of his belt.
Oh geez.
This isn't gonna end well for you if you don't answer his questions. Clearly you're not who you say you are. So what answers? And he sees that and he's just like, okay. Like the accent's gone. Like he's just like,
excellent.
Okay.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Like, okay. I mean, don't kill me. I'll whatever. Okay. Yeah. He looks up at you, Naruk. He's like, man, you were supposed to get out too. We didn't mean to leave you, man. Hey, they by the time we figured out they were onto us, that we got out when we could. We got excommunicated too. If it makes you feel any better, I'm not actually with the guild.
Okay, so from what I hear, I was not thrown under the bus. I was not. You were. Well, what have you been? So what? You've just been a merchant this whole time? Just like, are you not in the Eye of Selthor anymore?
No, we're not. We're not in the Eye anymore. Farax got caught in Waterdeep a little while after we left there. He just got out a couple months ago. I really have, and he kind of looks around at the rest of you. I've just been kind of doing petty cons to get by until he got out, and he had this great idea. The items, they're not real. They've got minor enchantments on them, so they pass a visual, but if anyone identifies them, they're just, they just glow in the moonlight, like they're not special. It's a really cheap enchantment we can get done, and we trump up who we are and like what we're selling, and we get big contract. We were going to leave here with. And Bruner kind of groans a little bit. He's like, "See, we were gonna make out like bandits, like 50,000 gold for this trash."
Really? You're saying that? Okay.
And Bruno's like,
so
yeah.
wait. If
Jesus.
he threw a necklace of fireballs and all it did was glow in the dark, would it just start glowing? And
It wouldn't have even glowed. It wouldn't have even glowed.
Just, wow.
Because it has to hit moonlight to glow. It would have just been thrown in the corner and nothing would have happened.
Well,
so oh my god, so he would have thrown it, and like we would have known throwing a necklace of fireballs.
Everyone would have like duck and cover, and then like
nothing would have. Oh,
he probably would have made up some bullshit about intent, but
not with like 3 or 4 magic people in this game.
well, okay.
He's just kind of like, eh.
Well, I'll tell you right now. Years ago, I would have had my new friend Bruni here chop your head off, but over the past couple of years, my trust in others have increased because of these amazing friends I've made over these.
I mean, that's cool. We still have the tapestry, so that's cool.
The tapestry, what?
Yeah, the tapestry. Did you know about that? Oh shit, you didn't even know about that, did you?
The tapestry?
Fuck. That's how we got caught. We stole the tapestry of Selthor.
What?
Yeah. I told Frax it was going too far, man, but he was like, dude, it's worth so much.
That's in the Great Hall. That's like right there in the middle of everything. Of course they're gonna know that's gonna.
Well, I mean, we thought
you got greedy, my friend. You got greedy.
We did. I mean, I'm sorry, but we did get away. I mean, I got away.
I did not.
Frax got caught up for something else.
Well,
so
I'm sorry you didn't. I mean,
I consider I consider it a loss on my part. So.
If you let me go, I'll convince Ferax that you should have the tapestry.
I don't want no damn tapestry. Listen,
dude, you don't even know. They don't. I don't even know if they knew. It's shit. It's actually a carpet of flying, dude. They had it on the wall all those years. It flies.
It flies.
Fucking flies.
Oh, wait a second.
Bullshit. Hang on.
Bullshit.
Inside check. Inside check.
Bullshit.
What is this? Carpet of flying.
You told me everything's like fake and like glowy. You tell me something flies? What is this?
All right,
hang on.
We got. All right. Insights for everybody.
Inside. Let's see. Oh, that's not gonna do it.
Let's see. It's actually only a +6. Oops, it's only the first one, not the second one. Okay.
Oh, it is. Even ma'am can tell.
Ma'am squints at him real close.
Shit.
Is it flying?
He's sweating bullets at this point. He is just, I mean, he's trembling. He's like, you gotta believe me.
Tanzul, you're from the Eye of Selthor. Where is the honor? You're selling fake wares. You're lying about flying carpets. What has happened to you, man? You're not the friend that was once a friend.
He's like, it's.
You know what? There's only one thing that we must do. Bruder.
Shit.
Fucking chop his head off or something. I don't know. I don't like this guy.
Shit. How do I play this?
Wait, so did we did not believe him on the flying of the carpet?
Oh.
You
No.
It's not a flying carpet, right?
The way the rolls went, you don't believe him.
But is he telling the truth? That was
Oh,
what I
but
was trying to figure out, if he was
okay.
telling the truth.
He rolled a nat 1 on his persuasion.
Oh,
He
like,
was
I can
not able to convince you that he was
that
telling the truth.
the truth. What I'm trying to find out is if he was. So can like I perception instead of insight?
Yeah,
and, like,
I feel like I feel like if he's trying to tell the truth and if we're trying to
Well, he said Ferrex has the tapestry.
Okay, all right.
Well,
How about this? So you can tell he's telling the truth, but you're not inclined to accept his deal to trade it for his freedom. That maybe that's
Okay.
what he was trying to persuade you on.
That seems right.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
like
it is
that.
a flying carpet. It is a flying carpet.
It is a flying carpet. He is telling
Holy
the
shit.
truth.
So he's telling the truth, but we're not convinced that it sells his freedom. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Does he have? Wait. Does he have it, or
How
does
about,
Ferrex?
okay? As part of what he's telling you it is, and he's saying, he's like, I swear, you let me go, I'll make sure you get the carpet, and I will never steal again.
I lay on top of him.
And you're like, yeah, we're not buying it. We're not buying that bullshit.
It's just well, we don't have it right here. He said spell it 4x.
Yeah.
For it. I drop, like, lay on top of him. So I know you said that your friend has the tapestry.
Yeah.
Where's your friend? Do you know where your friend is right now?
Well, geez, I mean, you said he was caught in Waterdeep. What's the deal?
Caught in Waterdeep, but released a few months ago.
I don't know exactly where he is at this exact moment.
So we love information, and we love people who give us information.
He's like, I love freedom.
And we would love to give you your freedom, but you haven't really shown that you're truthful. Can you tell us something that's truthful other than the flying carpet? And that you're not going to steal again, because we all know that's bullshit.
I mean, you know,
where's the honor, Tanzul?
Come on, man.
What happened?
That honor stuff, really? Did you really buy into that?
Yes.
Man.
What if we gave you a job?
Like, the guild was such good money, man. I thought, you were kind of.
I thought it was a brotherhood, but
Well, we had a little smaller brotherhood, I thought. Maybe we just kind of forgot to get you out too. Yeah. Okay.
I'm too ashamed to converse.
What if you actually had a job in trade?
What?
And what if you actually was given a job for trade?
A job? Like, what kind of job? Like a trade job? I could do that.
I look over at Bruner, and I look over at everybody. Well, we have a ship, and our friend runs that ship. Now, he runs a very tight ship, but they do trade all over the ocean.
His eyes start to he's like, on a boat?
On a boat. You wouldn't be on land. People wouldn't be looking after for you specifically.
That's okay. Keep going.
We can make a deal. We can figure out what Bruner needs. And I'm going to look over at him.
He's like, well, I'm not getting magic items now, so I don't know what I need from this punk.
Well, just out of curiosity, there, King, what would be the normal punishment here in your kingdom for somebody trying to sell you false items?
This? I'd cut his hands off and throw him out the door.
Ma'am just kind of looks back at him like, your options.
I love this plan, and I am excited to be a part of it.
So Nix is just like settled in right now. So let's talk this out. We know in Nomengard that they make magic items. We know that you are in need of magic items. We have a ship with a captain who runs it. And right now, there is a need to defend the oceans. So you get back your honor. You do some hard work and hard labor and still have your hands.
I like that part.
And you can actually learn how to trade honorably.
Honorably.
I mean,
this is a big deal.
Money. I mean, yeah, okay. Yes. I mean, yes.
Listen, we're not against cons. There's been several cons, but normally they're harmless. They're not trying to screw over an entire community.
I mean, really? And he kind of looks at Bruner. He's like, I'm pretty sure he can afford 50,000 gold. I'm not like ruining Gauntlgrym here.
Well, no. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if you actually sold somebody that necklace of fireballs and they were in a situation where you needed it.
And well, that's their fault. I mean, you're absolutely...
Don't make me change your mind.
Don't change your mind.
I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry.
Everyone, just want everyone to know that. Okay, so from here on out, I'm all about the honorable thing. For I advocate for him to do the honorable thing. I got to go to pickleball.
So that's right. Right. Okay, yes, you gotta go.
Okay, gotta go.
It sucks that I have to leave for this because this is like very important.
That's like your part, man.
It's like my part. I know. Yeah. I'm kind of pissed off, but
how about we leave it at?
I was just gonna say, how about we just call it from here? You know, this is the Rook's shit here. This really is. So.
Yeah. Okay. Let's, I've been trying to find a.
That's okay. You go to pickleball.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do your thing. Yeah. We knew you were gonna go, so we'll call it.
Okay. Cool. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Yeah, sweet.
We'll see you next time. Great. I love it.
See you, Mario.
Yeah, bye.
So we'll leave it with hello, bye. so we'll leave it with like Nick's trying to negotiate.
Yeah.
We'll have to contact Salty and be like, hey, we got people that you need to pick up.
That is so perfect. Do you like know Salty's original backstory of like the ship that he was on with Denny and like their whole thing?
I think he was like a stowaway, wasn't he, or something?
No, like Denny's whole crew was like they had a reputation for being pirates, but it was just because she would employ like convicted people.
Like reformed.
Yeah, like she would like people. Take on
I remember that.
That's incredible. That is so perfect.
I love that.
So we need to find the other guy too.
Yeah, and we'll keep that stuff aside. Is there anything else that Ma'am or Nix want to do here or take care of, like in Gauntlgrym? Like, is there any other stuff you want to touch on before we just kind of call it for the campaigny stuff?
Oh, Ma'am wants to get a set of Smith's tools.
Okay,
one minor thing.
Nix was going to get some more crossbow bolts, and then what else did I say? Hang on. Nix was just going to like explore, like as soon as we were done here, like go explore the potions, like I know that they were already going to try to get us what was the 4 potions that we had available to us?
I'll show there's actually more than that. I'll share the potions available here. And then Borden was able to grab a wizard, Tholern Rock Crusher. So if you want, we can pull Ma'am aside while this If you wanted to have a conversation with the wizard, we can do that.
Yeah, sure. Mam was mostly just interested in in how that was made and stuff. Just kind of the magic behind it.
Okay.
I'm just snooping. I'm just perusing. You do you. I'm just perusing.
You're looking at the potions.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
There's a few available. A couple things. So in the middle of this, you see what's his name, Borden, kind of peek his head in while there's still some conversing going on, and he kind of pokes his head in, and he's about to kind of pull back when he catches your eye, ma'am. And he's just kind of like, here?
Yeah, yeah. And man, well,
so he kind of pulls you out. Says, one of our more experienced wizards, Tholarn, Mr. Wizard Rock Crusher, said that he's got some time. If now is good for you, he said he's got a little bit of time. He can chat with you if you want. He knows a lot about the history of Gauntlgrym, and he's a really high level spellcaster, so he might be able to answer some questions of yours.
Yeah, I'd love to. I think they've got it handled in there.
Okay. Oh, great. He's not far. He's actually on the other side of the main area here. He's very close to where your quarters are. He's got a small library there that he keeps. And so he kind of takes you across, and there's some scuttlebutt going on in the main area, and he takes you across, almost exactly across. Very, just the not the entrance towards where your guest quarters are, but the one to the right of that. He brings you down there. And it's a bit of a winding hallway until he reaches the end, and it's a bit of a big hollowed out area, and you can see that there's still work being done on the ceiling, like they're still going up. You can see there's some scaffolding and there's some tools up there, and underneath the scaffolding there's rows of books, like bookshelves underneath, and you see that there's an old, even as far as dwarves go, there's this old guy sitting in a huge chair with like a pile of books on a table next to him, and he kind of looks up. He's got a pipe in his mouth. Oh yes. Oh good. Thank you, Borden. That'll be all. Leave us. And Borden kind of he looks up at you and he smiles and kind of, yes sir. He kind of backs out.
Thanks, Borden.
Ma'am, was it?
Yeah,
I heard there's some talk of some stuff you did. Good for you.
yeah.
You got some questions for me?
Yeah. I guess I'm just.
Come, sit down. And he
Thank you.
snaps his fingers, and a duplicate of the huge chair he's sitting in is now like to his right, and it seems to be the perfect size for you.
Incredible. Yeah, ma'am plonks herself down.
Excellent. What can I answer for you?
Sorry, quick question.
Yep.
How much is a platinum is worth how many gold pieces?
10.
10.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Did I put all the? Oh, I didn't disperse everyone's gold. Here, let me do that real quick. There we go. Okay. Excellent. All right. Yeah. So what can I answer for you?
Yeah. Well, you see, my I guess you could say one of my magical fortes or focuses is abjurative and warding magic. So I work a lot with runes, and when I saw the whole containment for the Dawn Titan down there, it was interesting. Curious about the history and, any I don't know, interesting magical properties you can tell me about.
Yeah, actually, that was a fantastic work. That was actually done by my great grandfather about, I think it was 2,318 years ago. Is about when that was done. Yeah. So It was actually a conglomeration. It was the dwarves working with the elves, and if you can believe it, gnomes. We had gnomes here for that too. It was really kind of an amazing thing. We had the gnomes; they had to enchant the door because, as you can imagine, the door was the weakest part. So we had to actually make sure that the door itself was enchanted before we placed it in its place. But the rest of the runes are kind of a conglomeration. You see, we used a lot of containment magic, but we had to make sure because that Dantite, man, that those things are powerful. We don't know exactly how powerful. So what they had to do was they had to basically plan for anything. So they really they kind of used magic to prevent against planar shifts and magic against communication and auras. And so it's really kind of a lace work of many different protection fields within that one place. And they found during the construction that you can't just place one field over another. So what they had to do was they actually had to, and you can't see most of the runes, you can only see the outside wall. Is what they done is they started with a much bigger room, and they had to put the runes all in that room. And what they did was is they had to bring stone masons in and cover up the runes with stone all the way around with the same thickness. And then they had to go through and they had to do another set of runes protecting against another piece of magic. So, and then they bring the stone workers back in and they patch up that room again. So it's actually, I think it's 14 layers of rune magic working from the top down. Very similar to what's that spell? Shoot, with all the pretty lights and stuff. I forget what it's called. I'd have to bring my spell book out. It's one of my favorite spells.
Fairy lights?
It is now prismatic. That's what it was. It's very similar to a prismatic, where it's got the different layers on it. Prismatic wall. That's a good one. Remind me. I think I got to scroll around here somewhere. I'll give it to you on your way out. But it's kind of a like I said, a conglomeration where all the different runes are kind of packed on top of each other. And then that bottom layer is more of an amplification of that magic. So all the runes working together and then getting amplified. And the more he pushes on that amplification, the more it amplifies the runes. So any magic or fire or divination or any type that he tries to push against actually makes that rune section stronger. It's really kind of an amazing work.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it was really amazing. Nothing ever done anywhere like that. Well, I can't say that. Apparently, from what I've heard, they must have done something similar over in Iron Slag, because that's where they were bringing this thing, I think.
Where they were bringing the Dawn Titan?
Yeah, the Iron Slag, the fire giant stronghold.
Oh, right.
They must have something there as well, or they think they do. That would have been awkward.
Interesting. Yeah. Where do you think they would have learned about that? How to make their own?
That's a good question. I hadn't really thought about it. And he puts the pipe back in his mouth and he starts kind of pulling on. Where? Who else would know about that? Well, the Great Library has some of that information. I suppose anyone can get it from there. I suppose that must be it, right? I had to have someone pull that information out of the Great Library in Silvery Moon. That's the only place I can think of where that information resides.
That would probably track, I suppose.
Yeah. Lots of good information in that Great Library. If you haven't been there, a good place to visit.
Where'd you say that was?
Silvery Moon.
Silvery Moon.
Yeah. Nice place to visit, but not. He looks at you. Not a place a spellcaster wants to live. If you know what I mean.
Could you elaborate?
The anti-magic field. The whole town, the whole city is an anti-magic field.
Oh.
Can't cast spells there. Nothing works. Unless they got they got talismans you can wear that negate the effects, but they don't just give them out. It's mostly, town guards and stuff that have stuff like that.
Well,
Fascinating.
Yeah, good to know.
If you go there and you can figure out how they do it, you let me know. I'd be interested to know how they get it that big.
I'll be sure to follow up. Hey,
it's a closely guarded secret.
You all got a teleportation circle here?
Yeah, of course.
Think I could get those runes?
Sure, yeah, of course.
Great.
Yeah. Actually, and he kind of like thumbs over to the next, like to a wall behind him, and actually goes into the next room here. You got to go out. It's actually the very next door. That's where it comes out. So anytime. Actually, hang on. No, I got it. Got it somewhere around here. And he kind of puts his pipe down. As he puts his pipe down, you watch as like the embers start to just like roll out and start to like land on the desk. And like there's a couple of pieces of paper there. And he's looking on the other side. He's like, I think I got it here somewhere. What's one of these books here? And he looks up real quick as like you start to like see tinders of smoke like rising from the papers next to him. Oh, geez, don't hold this, and he hands his pipe to you. Hold this. He puts it out. Jesus. All right, hang. Here we go. Yes, and he like rips a page out of the book. He turns to you. Okay, give me that back here, and he hands you the piece of paper. And on one side, it's got like information about Gauntlgrym's storage systems and how many different like levels. And then you turn the page, and it's got a little bit more information about the top level, and then it's got like a diagram of the teleportation circle that's in the room.
Oh, great.
So there you go. That's the diagram you need. You can copy it from there. You might need to magnify it somehow, but you've got better eyes than I do.
Yeah, I can figure it out. Thank you. And thanks for all the information. Thanks for everything.
Of course.
Maybe one last kind of strange question for you.
Yeah.
I heard about some kind of spells, some magic that pulls on threads from the outer planes. You know anything about that? Just interested to do a little more research.
The outer planes? Yeah, sure. What do you know about the outer planes?
Oh, not too much, actually.
Shit. I've got another diagram for you then. Let me see if I can find it here somewhere. I'm pretty sure I have that. That's one of these, and he goes to put his pipe down on the table again and stops himself and looks. Would you hold that for me again?
Sure.
Thank you. And he turns and he starts digging through his stuff here.
Ma'am, as he's doing that, draws a little rune on it and casts Tiny Servant and just puts it down so it has little arms and legs to hold itself up.
That's awesome. I love it. All right. And he's looking. He's like, oh, okay. I think this is it. Oh, yes. Here we go. Yes, here we go. And he. Did he? I don't see it. Is it a token? No. What's going on? Huh. Okay, that didn't work. Hold, please. Apparently, I can't share GIFs.
Oh.
There we go. So let's just save it as a JPEG. JPEG. that's a really big file. Okay. No. I have to remember to unshare it when I'm done. Apparently, that's really big. Okay. All right. Let's try this again. He's like, "Oh yeah. Let me grab this real quick. Here you go." And he pulls this like, it's clearly not bound into the book. He pulls it out, and then it unfolds a few times until it's just kind of like a big piece of paper held out. And he's like, here you go. This is like an image record, I think. I think this is a pretty good depiction of what we're talking about here. These are all the different planes. So think of where we live as the material plane as like the center of an egg, if you will. And then he shares this diagram with everyone.
Oh.
And he's like, so we're here in the center. We got this material plane, and we're almost wrapped by both the Feywild and the Shadowfell. That's why they're so easily accessed from this plane. We're really touching. And then you have the ethereal plane, which is kind of permutating everything. So that's why with the ethereal plane connects everything. So you can go from the material or the Feywild or the Shadowfell or the elemental air, fire, earth, water, all through the ethereal plane. And then beyond that is the astral plane, which you mostly can't enter in physical form. It's more of a projection where you get into. And then in the astral plane floating is all these other demi-planes. And they're either the good planes or they're the evil planes. And then they either lean towards law or they lean towards chaos. And so each one of these different planes are inhabited by mostly souls, but also native creatures. That's some of these planes are where the actual gods reside. It's where they're from. It's where they're born into, however long ago that was. And for those who worship those gods, when their soul passes on, they join them in these outer planes. Is there any specific plane you were curious about or interested in?
Not sure that there was any.
And we can, or do you have an answer right away?
I don't think so.
Okay. I was gonna say we can cut to Nyx if you want to.
Yeah.
Find some gunpowder.
So Nyx buys 1 superior, 2 greater healing potions, and then 1 hill giant potion. I had to. This is what I did, but I still have money left, and my whole thing was to get explodey stuff. So I'm looking for oil flasks to make Molotov cocktails again, and gunpowder.
Okay. All right. So assuming that you talk to Borden, let him know.
I did. Yeah.
Yep, that's right. He comes back and he's like, okay. He's like, there is a dwarf down in the mining tunnels who said that he can meet you in the storage area, and he can talk to you more about gunpowder. He already got the okay to teach you a little bit about it and perhaps procure some for you from the hold. But you're welcome to go talk to him. And his name is Thurple Dragon Maker.
Thurple Dragon Maker. That makes sense. Thurple Dragon Maker. Oh my god. Look at Dragon Maker. He makes fire and explosions.
I have to say that was an internet random name generator, and that was spot fucking on.
Yes, it was. Oh my gosh. That was spot on. All right. So I look for Thurple down on the fifth level. Got it.
And as soon as you step off the platform, like he's there waiting, and you can you see a whole bunch of dwarves are like walking around and stuff, and then you see one who's standing there like staring at you. So you're and he kind of.
I assume you're Dragon Maker.
Yes, Thurful. Yes, Thurful Dragon Maker. Pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Give him a good clap handshake.
Next.
Yes.
Good
yes,
chick.
that's
Good
me.
chick.
Thank you. All right, let's get down to business. And then Nick just follows.
Yeah, you're interested in gunpowder, huh? Do you know anything about it?
I know that it explodes.
It can explode. It doesn't necessarily explode. All right, so here's what we do. You can use it. We put it either in a keg or we put it in one of these horns, and he kind of has one on his belt, and it's literally like a cow horn, and one side is waxed off. He goes, so and he kind of opens it so you can see inside, and it's just like this grainy black sand almost. And he's like, this is the actual black powder. He goes, so, and he kind of like, he looks around a little bit and he's like, fuck it. All right. So he pours a little bit on the ground, and he's like, this is how it works. And he like caps the top and he puts it back on his hip. And then he's got this like flint and steel. He's like, all right. He goes, when it's powdered like this, and he strikes this thing, and you see you see the sparks fly and land in the powder, and then there's this just flash, like this flash of light. And he goes, yeah. He goes, if it's loose powder, you're gonna get a flash like that, and that's doesn't really do much. Because if you want the explosion, you got to put it in a container. And so he takes his horn, right? He goes kind of like this, right? And he takes a little knife out and he like pokes a hole in the wax top, right? And then like he grabs like a little bit of his hair and like yanks it out and gives it he twists it a little bit, and you see him stuff it in the little hole. And he goes, if you have a container, and he looks around, and you see him like look, and there's like a little section of cavern that has just like a couple of casks lined up, right? And he's like, oh, good. And he walks over. And he puts it on top of one of the casks, and then he grabs his flint and steel, and he strikes it a couple of times. And then he looks at the cask, and he takes the horn off, and he looks inside, and he goes, okay, it's just wine. He goes, it's fine. And so he puts the horn back on it, flicks this thing a couple times, and you see that like this twist of hair just like kind of catch an ember and start like slowly working its way towards the top. And you see him like start up a little bit, and he comes back and he's like, okay. He's like, come on. And he like he's like pushing you back into like one of the tunnels. He's like, come on. He's like, all right. He's like, he's got one hand like holding you back from the edge of the tunnel, and he's like kind of peeking back, and he's like, okay, it's almost down. Okay. All right. It's about ready. Any second. And then you feel before you hear or see anything, and you just feel this impact of air just hit you. And as you do, you just hear this ear-splitting crack-cow, and like everything is just immediately lit up bright, like your eyes immediately just like close in pain. And then the smell, all you smell is sulfur. It's just this burning sulfur smell. And as your eyes kind of open, now it's dark again. You're having trouble even seeing from that flash of light. But you hear this. That was good, huh? That's what happens.
Yeah.
See? If you put it in a container, it goes bang. Yeah. So that's how you do it. So, and the bigger the container, the bigger the bang. And he kind of pulls you around, and you look into this hallway, and like the floor is just stained purple, and any sign of wooden barrels totally gone. The walls are now blackened, and you see in a few places, you see like shards of wood almost like sticking out of the wall in some places in the stone. And like you start to hear the sound of running boots. And out of one of the tunnels comes a whole bunch of dwarves, and you see they have these like strange like big backpacks on, right, with these weird like hoses coming out down near their waist, and they come running forward, and they're like, Thurful, And he's like, yes. Are we good here? Yes, King Bruner told me to show the new people how this works. I have permission to do that. And they're like looking at him very sternly. Their fault. There's a blasting ground for that. I know. They've really wanted me to do it right here. And he kind of looks at you with like,
I wanted to see the wine go boom.
see? But we'll go to the blasting grounds if I do any more. They're like, okay. And they poke their head into the alcove and they just kind of look around. We're going to tell Master Theron that you destroyed his wine. Those weren't even the good kegs. And they just kind of put their hands up and they turn around and start going back into the tunnel. Who drinks wine anyway?
I just look at Thermal. Did you just get in a jumble with somebody?
No, you're a freaking hero. They won't care.
I know, but like the wine, like the wine people are very specific about their wine. Trust me, we've already run into somebody who is very.
This isn't where we keep the good wine. That's the extra stuff.
Okay,
that's the stuff we get from the human villages.
So where's the good wine? Where does the good wine come from?
Elves. You want good wine, you get it from the elves. You want to see it? You want to see a cask of black powder blow up?
And Nick's is like, let go.
All right, come on. And he starts like running down one of the hallways. Come on. This is the way to the blasting ground.
Running down the hallway to see like oh my gosh. Nick's finding like fire and explosions is probably the worst thing. Oh my gosh.
Want to cut back to ma'am? Is there anything more ma'am wants to discuss with Thalarn?
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think she has specific questions about any specific planes. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And if there's anything you later want ma'am to know about the Outer Planes, you can say that she used this time to talk with Thalarn.
Sure. Cool.
So if there's stuff you think of later or stuff you want ma'am to know, we can.
And is she able to take a copy of this diagram?
Yeah, he'll have one scribed.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, ma'am will say,
well, thank you. This has been very, very interesting. I'm gonna have to check out that library at some point.
Yes, of course. Help yourself.
Yeah.
Now that you have the teleportation runes, you're welcome to come back and check anytime. He kind of looks around. Most of my days in here now. So if there's anything I can help you with or research for you, I'm only a sending spell away.
Good. Thanks. Hey, you mentioned a spell scroll, perhaps?
Oh, yes. My favorite spell. Yes. Let me. And he kind of gets up out of this humongous chair, right? And like jumps down onto the floor. And you see him walk over to one of the bookcases, and you see him like kind of make a few hand motions and a few whispers, and you see the bookcase open up from the wall, and like there's this shimmer where you would expect to see stone, and he just like walks forward and just walks into it, and it's totally gone. And you wait a few moments, and then he comes popping back out, and he's got a scroll case in his hand. He's like, "Yes, that's right. I knew I put that somewhere. There you go. Prismatic wall. There you are."
Oh, wow. Thank you.
And ma'am takes it,
and he puts his pipe back in his mouth and looks you up and down. Might want to wait before you. Might want to wait a little while before uncorking that bad boy. You look like maybe a little more experience could do you good with that before. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I'll keep that in mind.
And she thanks him and will be on her way.
All right. I think there's one. There it is. Pop that into ma'am's inventory.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah, it's a 9th level spell. That might be my personal favorite spell.
I don't think I've ever looked at this spell.
Oh man, it's brutal.
Yeah, this seems very cool. I'm gonna have to read through
If
that.
you can throw somebody through that wall, doesn't matter who they are.
Ma'am's pretty good at throwing things.
Yes.
Great.
So for Nyx, you spend the next couple of hours just watching this dwarf blow shit up. Like they have this whole blasting area set up, and it's set up to test different sizes. And he explains all of this to you. It's set up to test different sizes of containers and canisters and different mediums for those canisters. So you see, there's 2 areas when you go there. There's one area where there are shelves, and the shelves are lined from smallest to largest in size of containers. And you see each size has a wooden container and a clay pottery container. And he explains to you that the clay ones are mostly used in like battle type applications. And he said they haven't really refined it in a way that's super helpful, because you have to light the fuse and leave it there. And he explains, because you get talking and he understands your affinity for Molotov cocktails and things like that. And he explains, when you light a Molotov cocktail and you throw it, it explodes in flame and everything happens, and that's wonderful. If you were to light one of these pots and throw it, he says, the pot breaks before the fuse gets to the powder. And so it doesn't explode, it just flashes. So the problem that they're having in warlike applications is that you have to set the pot down, light it, and run away. And then it explodes where it is. And that gives people too much time to just walk away from it before it blows up. He says, so that's the problem they're finding with this. He says, but for the most part, he says they work just like the wooden ones, except they weigh more. They're harder to carry because they weigh more. But you can see on the wall there's they have the horn that he used. They have little wooden almost cylinders that they have about the size of that horn. And he said these are pretty good for small applications, and all the way up to actual huge barrel sized things. And he says this can blow up a house, because we've taken a few of these outside, and it'll clear an area of trees in just a moment. He goes, and it'll blow your eardrums out too. So don't be too close to one of these. Get a nice long fuse. And he explains fuses as well. He says that hair, he goes, dwarf hair works okay, because it's really stringy, and if you get enough of it together, it can hold an ember. He says most other races, he looks at you, he's like, your hair is way too fine. He goes, you won't be able to use your hair. Humans normally can't use their hair either. Your friend Vark, if you can get him to grow it long enough, you might be able to use some of his hair. It looks nice and thick and coarse as well. Maybe the camel too, but I think he's a short hair camel, so I don't think there's anything you can do about that. But normally we just use hempen rope. You got to dip it in oil so that it burns okay, but you have to let it dry. If you just dip it in oil, it burns straight to the cask and blows up. And really quickly. So dip the, and it's got to be hempen rope. Don't use silk. Silk won't work. Silk burns too finely. So you got to use the hempen rope. Cut yourself. It's about a foot of rope per minute of fuse that you want. And you got to dip it in, or you got to dip it in the oil and let it dry. It's got to dry for at least an hour. And then you can use that as a good fuse. And then depending on what size of a keg you use depends on how much damage it does or what the blast radius is.
I like those little clay pots.
Those do extra damage. Those, in addition to doing, fire and force damage, those also do some slashing damage as well. Maybe even some piercing. We've he looks around as well. I have found that if you take the top off the clay pot and you put like ball bearings inside and then you close it up, it does even more damage.
Oh my gosh.
Guy's making fucking pipe bombs.
Yes. But you know who has ball bearings? Bugs, dude. Oh my gosh. I need some ball bearings now. Holy shit. All right. Well, Nyx has projects to work on to see if they can create a wartime grenade, essentially. And in the meantime,
grenade, mortar, depends on how big you want to
mortar, pressure plate.
Oh man! Combine that with the catapult spell.
Yeah. Hello.
There you go. Now you got an artillery.
Now we got artillery. Yeah. The monk is becoming an artificer. There we go.
Awesome. All right. Well, yeah, we are at exactly 2:30.
We are. That's awesome. So yeah, Nyx will buy gunpowder.
Okay. I just made all of that up, so I'm going to work on creating the items behind that, and then he'll have prices and stuff for you for.
Gunpowder.
He lets you know that if you want to buy this stuff, you got to go through him.
Yep.
And gives you a little bit of a wink.
Yes. I got it. I will go directly through him. He will be my supplier. And maybe I'll come up with some designs and get them on my side. Hello. He already created like pipe bombs, but like I could do like try to recreate like a grenade or something. Let's see how realistic.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh.
I can see why you love that spell, Nick. Absolutely insane. Potential of 50 d6 damage.
Oh my god! Plus a couple other nasty effects. Right?
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, 9th level spell, but man will be looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that'll be a good one
someday.
Right.
Oh, I also wanted to ask: should I subtract gold for what Ma'am would have had to pay for that gold, the molten gold, as part of the ritual?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Should that be the full cost? Because do you want that to be the full decorated with gems worth at least 1,500 gold?
I would say however much you think the actual physical gold, because obviously the item you're talking about also includes gemstones. So, whatever you think the pure casting of gold, like however much you think, like,
okay,
it's definitely not gemstones, and gemstones are usually expensive. It's like 700 gold. Does that sound?
Sound good? Yeah, that kind of. Yeah, I like that.
All right,
perfect.
And then if you ever want to sell it, it's worth 700 gold.
Yeah. Yeah, just
Well,
sell a severed part of my body.
Yeah,
well, it's 700 gold plus whatever the ivory of the tusk is, plus
That's right. Yeah, if you get if you find the right market for that.
If you find the right market, which that's a bit scary to deal with, though. If you're
if man was in that market, I don't think that many people would be making it out of that market.
Yeah,
correct.
There's many reasons that she guarded her people's graveyard for a very long time. That would be one of them.
Yep, because of the ivory.
Yeah, a lot of ivory there. Yeah, for sure.
That would be 700 gold is 70 platinum, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. I'll say I just converted that. Oh, I can just convert it all to gold anyways.
Yeah. We don't really count coin weight, so I don't worry about gold versus platinum versus silver versus whatever.
Awesome.
Cool. All right. That was fun. Thanks for playing today.
That was super fun.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. That was great.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time. I'll talk to you on Friday, if not before.
Sounds good. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.